Good morning, colleagues. The October 25th, 2022 Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards is called to order. Pursuant to applicable law, the chairman has determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent. Accordingly, attendance at this meeting will be by remote means only. Would staff remind me this will probably be the last Zoom? Just for the record, this will be the last Zoom committee, zoning committee hearing. We'll start off with roll call. Committee members, please unmute yourself and please note that your yes or present response will be deemed to be a yes vote when this quorum roll call is used as a reference vote for later items. We'll start with my Vice Chair Raboyes on the roll.
Present, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Hopkins. Alderman Dowell. Alderman Sawyer. Alderman Beal.
Yep.
Alderman Lopez Raymond. Alderman Moore. Alderman Mike Rodriguez.
Present.
Alderman Cicho Lopez.
Present.
Alderman Burnett.
Present.
Alderman Cardona.
Present, sir.
Alderman Waguespack.
Present.
Alderwoman Austin.
Present.
Alderman Villegas. Alderman Riley. Alderman Kappelman.
Present.
Alderman Osterman.
Present.
And Alderwoman Haddon.
Present.
All right, we have a quorum. All right, we'll now move on to the approval of the Rule 45 reports containing the minutes of the September hearing of the Committee on Zoning, Landmark, and Building Standards. All members of this committee should have received a copy of this report electronically. And if hearing no objections, do I have a motion by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum to approve the minutes?
So move.
Alderman Beal makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, the report has been approved. Moving on, we'll now hear the items to be deferred. I'll read the file number, the address, and page number and take a motion for all at the end. Committee members, these items do not appear on the revised agenda in front of you. So on page 2 of the regular agenda, file number A8782 for the address commonly known as 1753 West Cornelia. On page 4 of the regular agenda, file number 21122 for the address commonly known as 4651 through 4719 Northwestern Avenue, also 2320 through 2332 West Leland Avenue, and 2323 through 2333 West Leland Avenue. On page 4 of the regular agenda, file number 21130 for the address commonly known as 369 West Grand Avenue. On page 5 of the regular agenda, file number 21150 for the address commonly known as 5832 through 5858 Northwestern Avenue, and 2401 through 2411 West Thorndale Avenue. On page 8 of the regular agenda, file number 21131 for the address commonly known as 2501 North Elston Avenue. On page 9 of the regular agenda, file number 21166 T1 for the address commonly known as 2525 North Milwaukee Avenue. On page 11 of the regular agenda, file number 21133 for the address commonly known as 415 North Sangamon. On page 11 of the regular agenda, file number 21119T1 for the address commonly known as 1226 West Augusta Boulevard. On page 12 of the regular agenda, file number 21123 for the address commonly known as 1338 West Lake Street. On page 12 of the regular agenda, file number 21124 for the address commonly known as 1200 through 1234 West Randolph Street, also 146 through 162 North Racine Avenue. On page 13 of the regular agenda, file number 21129 for the address commonly known as 643 through 741 West Chicago Avenue, 641 through 739 North Halsted Street, 632 through 740 West Erie Street, 727 through 661 West Erie Street, 501 through 531 North Des Plaines Street, and 524 through 630 West Grand Avenue. On page 21 of the regular agenda, file number 21126 for the address commonly known as 756 East 111th Street. On page 23 of the regular agenda, file number 21136 for the address commonly known as 2222 South Michigan Avenue. On page 23 of the regular agenda, file number 21125 for the area bounded by 18th Street, South Wabash and South Michigan Avenues. And lastly, on page 24 of the regular agenda, file number 21128 for the address commonly known as 2031 through 2033 North Kingsbury Street. Any questions by committee members? If not, Alderman Raboyes makes a motion to defer the previously listed items by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections to the motion?
No objections. Alderman David Moore is present.
Present, and David Moore has no objections, so these items will be deferred. And we have one public speaker signed up for today's hearing. We'll hear from him now. I believe it's Rodney Reed. Rodney?
Hello. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Ronnie Reed.
Good morning,
Hello,
Rodney.
can you hear me?
Yes, proceed.
Hey, good morning. Hey, my name is Ronnie. My name is Ronnie Reed. I have the property at 757 East Oakwood Boulevard. My name is Ronnie Reed. I've been in this community I've been a member of the Bronzeville community, living in the Bronzeville community for over 27 years. And I have a concern because I have a commercial space located at 757 East Oakwood Boulevard. I received a public notice on my door. It was stating about a zone change, and the zone was changing the zone from B3-2 to residential. And my concern is I have a commercial space. Located at 757, and the zone change that I received is from my property, which is 757, to 4 houses down, which was already residential. I see that those properties was built in 2018, and they are residential. And the zone and the space that I have is commercial. It's been commercial for over 30 years. And for the zone change of residential, I don't feel like that's beneficial because I have a commercial space. And I can understand lowering the zoning from a B-32. I understand all of that, but what I don't understand is changing it to residential when I have a commercial space. Not only is that my concern, I also have a concern of the houses that were just built on both sides of my property was built in 2018, which means that they built residential on the B-2 zoning. And now that they're trying to change the zoning from that to residential, I feel like that, that's why I called to file an objection to amendment of the change of the zoning, because I had this space been here for over 30 plus years. I took a hit during COVID. I just got my financials back together, and now I'm getting everything back up and going. And I feel like this situation, I feel like this situation is hindering me because I don't understand how it's going from completely commercial B-32 to residential. They didn't even consider lowering it to a different one. They just want to change it to strictly residential, and I don't find that fair because I have a commercial space. My address is a commercial space. Like I said, it's been here for over 30 years. So that is my concern, and I was wondering, why. I don't even understand why the zone has been changed. I don't understand the amendment. I don't understand the amendment of the zoning, especially when my place is, the zoning goes only 4 houses down, which was already residential, and less than 200 feet away from me are other businesses, boutiques and barbershops, and that zone has not been changed. So my concern is, why is the zone being changed for me?
Okay. Mr. Reed, I know you've contacted our office, and maybe it's the email is not going through. The address, do you have a file number on this? Because I don't think it's up to date. Sir?
Yes, I was muted. It muted me back. But the file number I have is A-8785. And this
Say it again, sir. Say it again, Mr.
Eight.
Reed.
Okay, file number is A-8785, dated 9/21/2022.
Okay, I believe it's, according to our staff, it's not up today. So what I would suggest, number one, I value the fact you've been in business on that street for 30 years. Obviously, if your licenses are kept in current, you will still be allowed to continue your business for as long as you want. But I would also suggest a call to the alderman's office on that, please. And I believe, do you know who your alderman is? Or alderwoman,
Yeah.
I should say?
Yes, Alderman King.
All right. Well, then, why don't we, again, Mr. Reed, I don't think it's up today, but I would suggest some conversation with the local alderman would probably be beneficial. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And again, I don't think it's on the agenda today. All right. So that concludes the public speaking portion of the agenda. We've been joined by Alderman Hopkins. Brian. Thank you. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you, Mr. Chair. I just lowered my hand. I was just seeking to get on the attendance roll call.
Good morning. Anybody, who else is on?
Alderman Nugent is present. Thank you, Chairman.
Alderwoman Nugent is a non-committee member, I believe, right? Okay, great. All right. So I want to start off by saying, while this is the last Zoom meeting, this is going to be a very long meeting. So in the effort for the attorneys that are presenting their cases and alderpersons, we're going to try to keep it short and sweet so we can maintain the attention of our committee members because it's one of the longer agendas that we've seen. So that being said, we're going to start off with the addendum to the agenda. We have one appointment. That's document number A 2022-116. The appointment of Adam Rubin as a member of the Commission on Chicago Landmarks for a term effective immediately and expiring March 11th, 2023 to complete the unexpired term of Paola D. Aguirre Serrano, who has resigned. All members should have received an electronic copy of his resume, and we have Mr. Rubin here to introduce himself and speak on his appointment. Mr. Rubin. We have Mr. Rubin.
Hi, can you hear me now?
We can. Is that you, Adam?
This is me. Yes. Hi. Hang
All
on
right.
a second. I think I'm.
Join as a panelist so we can see you, right?
There we go. Hi, you
Okay.
can see and hear me now. Fine.
Good morning. Proceed.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Tunney and the committee. My name is Adam Rubin, and I'm greatly honored to be considered for the Commission on Chicago Landmarks. Although I grew up in California, I lived in Chicago for nearly 6 years at this point. I have roots going back some time in the city. I've worked in the not-for-profit sector of the preservation field for the past 15 years in cities like New York and Los Angeles. I hold a master's degree in historic preservation and American studies from the George Washington University in Washington, D.C. My preservation career began in Los Angeles, working with local youth and families, helping high school students go through the process of nominating resources to that city's landmarks register. I've also worked as an urban design educator at the Brooklyn Historical Society and in Manhattan. In Chicago, my current role is as Director of Interpretation at the Chicago Architecture Center, which affords me the opportunity to wear several hats, including a built environment historian, a curator, programmer, and trainer of our docents. In my 4 years there, I've placed heritage conservation topics front and center in my lectures and public programs and trainings. And I'm firmly committed to broadening the stories we tell about historic buildings and the people who use them so that we can showcase an ever more inclusive and representative picture of our city's rich architectural and cultural legacy. These are values I hope to carry forth in my capacity as Landmarks Commissioner, and I'm truly excited and humbled to be considered for this opportunity. And thank you for your time and consideration.
All right. We have questions, comments from committee members. I have one just to start the conversation, Mr. Rubin.
Please.
since obviously you're a transplant, but you're 6 years in Chicago, on a holistic level, what kind of vision do you have in terms of the preservation slash development opportunities, and how do you mix the two when you're reviewing applications? And then how do you interpret modern architecture that still would fit in the historic nature of districts?
It's a great
i.e.,
question.
like the Spartacus in South Michigan Avenue is an example.
Yeah, no, that's a great example. I'd say that first and foremost, to work in preservation means having an understanding that your job is not to preserve anything in amber. It's not to create a sequence of museums and historic sites that don't have a function. It's one tool in a larger kind of Swiss Army knife of city planning tools, and I absolutely understand that. But I also believe that cities are healthier and more vibrant for having a wealth of historic resources that represent a lot of different stories that people can relate to and and understand a sense of place. As I mentioned, because I grew up on the West Coast and kind of started my career in historic preservation in Los Angeles, I really started with the modern resources of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Here in Chicago, we have a number of them as well. Our resource survey, as we all know, stopped in the 1990s, and there are quite a lot of resources that aren't included there that we need to start thinking about and giving some thought to as to how these are integrated into a historic landscape that we have in the city. So I'm excited to be able to have an opportunity not just to look at landmarks that are coming online, but also to work with property owners to maintain landmarked properties and make sure they have the integrity and use going forward.
Well spoken from a coastal person.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, especially more the modernist aspect of LA. You know, we've got a certain period here in Chicago that reflects that I don't think is necessarily represented in the historic resources surveys, which, as you know, is outdated.
We led a program about the Peterson mid-century modern corridor just 1 week ago today. So I'm well versed in the subject and love discussing it.
Well, thank you. Other questions? I see we've been joined by Alderman Raymond Lopez. Raymond, good morning.
Good morning, Chairman. Just here for the purposes of quorum, please.
All right.
And if no other questions, move to pass.
I don't see any other hands up. So Alderman Raymond Lopez moves to pass on this appointment. Any objections? Hearing none, the appointment is passed. We report it out tomorrow's city council meeting. Look forward to working with you, sir, and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Chairman.
All right. Next, we have one fee waiver for a historical landmark document number OR 2022-264, located at 2028 through 2062 North Clybourne Avenue in the Second Ward. We have Michelle Rhymes here to present on this matter. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This is a permit fee waiver for Annexation LLC. They are proposing an adaptive reuse of a historical landmark building, the Ludlow Typographic Building, located at 2028 to 62 North Clybourne Avenue. Their plan is to adaptively reuse the building and turn it into 124 mixed-use residential units, residential amenities, and 4 retail and beverage venues. Their scope is very comprehensive. They are proposed to expend $32.5 million and are seeking a permit fee waiver of $150,000.
Right. Michelle, we're going to try to get a photo for the benefit of the committee members. I know Alderman Hopkins represents this property. In the interim, Brian, would you like to say a few words on this?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just briefly, this project enjoys strong community support. There were some proposals prior to this one that would have demolished it and replaced it with high-rise, postmodern glass structures, which would have been out of character with the neighborhood. It is a contributing structure to the historic industrial past for the North Branch area. There's a lot of history involved in this. That's why it was able to get landmark status with no controversy whatsoever. And this project is something that the community is behind 100%. So I'm pleased to give my support to this permit fee waiver. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. All right, Michelle, I hear you. There we go. Here we go.
There. Thank you, because I'm unable to screen share.
All right,
This-
well, we got it. And
Thank
Brian,
you.
this is our building, correct, Brian?
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right, any questions for the department or the alderman? If not, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Move to pass.
Alderman Hopkins makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this order is passed. All right,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
have a great day. Thanks, Michelle. Moving on, we have large signs over 100 square feet in area, 24 feet above grade. We'll hear them all together. I'll read the ward, followed by the address, and take a motion at the end. In the second ward, 1111 North Clark Street. Also in this second ward, 1641 through 43 West North Avenue. 2233 West Division Street and 60 West Walton Street. I have four. So 4 at 60 West Walton and 1 at 2233 West Division, all in the second ward. 2 signs in the fourth ward at 2525 South Michigan Avenue. 1 sign in the 11th ward at 4121 South Packers Avenue. In the 14th ward, 4374 South Archer Avenue. In the 19th ward, 2304 West 95th Street. In the 23rd ward, 5700 South Cicero Avenue. 3 signs in the 25th ward at 1602 West Cermak Road. In the 26th ward, 1 sign at 1116 North Kedzie Avenue. In the 27th ward, 1307 North Clybourne. Also in the 27th ward, 1301 West Fulton Street. And also in the 27th ward, 1352 West Lake Street. In the 32nd ward, 2604 North Elston Avenue. In the 35th ward, 3390 North Avondale Avenue. In the 37th ward, 4905 West North Avenue. In the 39th ward, 4001 West Devon. 2 signs in the 41st ward located at 11601. That's 11601 East Tui. All right. 4 signs in the 42nd ward located at 10 East Grand Avenue. 3 signs in the 42nd ward located at 600 North State Street. 2 signs in the 42nd ward located at 900 North Michigan Avenue. 2 signs in the 42nd ward located at 111 North Canal Street. Also in the 42nd ward, 1 sign located at 145 South Wells Street. 2 signs in the 45th ward located at 3936 North Milwaukee Avenue. And lastly, 1 sign in the 47th ward located at 5025 North Paulina Street. If no questions by committee members, do I hear a motion to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderman
Chairman, it's
Kappelman.
Alderman Riley. Can I be recorded as present for the purposes of quorum?
Yes, sir. We have Alderman Riley for quorum, and Alderman Kappelman makes the motion to move to pass on these items. Any objections? Hearing none, these sign orders are passed. All right. We will now move on to the regular agenda in an effort to minimize technical difficulties and to ensure the committee meeting runs as smoothly as possible. The typical order in which items will be heard has been updated. Throughout the duration of the virtual Committee on Zoning meetings, items will be grouped together according to witness, attorney, and will be heard in that order rather than in the ward order. And just for some of the new committee members, this is going to be a long meeting. We're going to be short and sweet on these applications. And this will be the last Zoom meeting of the Committee on Zoning till further notice. We will be live come in our next meeting. All right, Alderman Martin has not joined us on the Aldermanics, so we'll move to page 2. Let's see. That would be Alderman Osterman. Oh, I'm sorry.
7-4.
Okay. Second item on page 2, document number A8741 in the 21st Ward. Ordinance was referred on February 23rd of 2022. Common address is 8147 South Vincennes Avenue, 8134 through 8158 South Vincennes Avenue, and 442 through 450 West 82nd Street. Alderman Brookins, the change request he's requesting is from M11 Limited Manufacturing District, RS3 Residential Single Unit Detached House District, and Institutional Plan Development, all to number 783. Institutional Plan Development number 783 as amended. All right, Alderman Brookins. Oh, is Scott Borstein going to speak on this item? All right.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, Scott Borstein. I'm from Neil and Leroy here on behalf of the Board of Education. And of course, I'll defer to, I think Carla Glover maybe is here from the Alderman or the Alderman himself, I'm not sure. Whoever wants to speak first, but I'm happy to make the introduction and tell everybody about what this case is.
Let's go. Keep going,
Okay.
Scott.
Will do. So this is a real straightforward case, and I know you have a busy agenda, so we'll keep it short. This is a new driver's ed facility at Simeon High School. Simeon is an existing plan development located on Vincennes, and we are adding the driver's ed facility across the street. And as you know, when you expand the boundaries of a plan development, you have to amend it. So this project had a substitute ordinance for the enlarged boundary. And in addition, we were heard by the Plan Commission and received its recommendation at their hearing last week. And so I would ask the committee to accept all the conclusions and findings and the substitute ordinance here today.
All right, so Vice Chairman Raboyes moves to incorporate the records from the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the records are incorporated, so continue, please.
So great. So we have Evan Smith from the Board of Ed, and we also have our engineer of record, Chad Hooper, to go over the plans if you'd like.
Why don't we just get, I've been on Plan Commission, so I think just a simple illustration as to what the driver's facility thing is and that addition, which is the subject of today's hearing.
Okay, I know I sent a PowerPoint to the committee. I don't know if there's a picture you can show.
Okay. All right, we're working on it.
Okay. Great. So Chad, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Great. So if you, I guess if we can
Can you move to it?
move forward and you can just quickly describe what the project is, and that should take care of it.
Yep, sure. So yeah, on the right is obviously Simeon Career Academy High School. And on the west side of Vincent Street is where our improvements are at. Next slide. This basically just shows at the top, the picture on the top is the high school. The picture on the bottom left is also a view of the high school. And then the picture on the bottom right is a view of the high school and the parking lot, or their kind of a parking lot for what we're going to be improving. As you can see, it's in pretty bad shape, and they currently use this facility and store vehicles there as well. So we're going to be improving this to be a full driver's ed facility, paved, striped, and also with landscaping. Next slide. This is an overall view of kind of what I just described. It shows the trees that are being added on the perimeter of the school parcel itself. And then on the other side of the street is where our improvements are at. Next slide. This is an enlarged view of our work. In the middle, you see all the striping with the arrows for the direction for the driver's ed facility. And there's also landscaping right away and in the landscape setbacks, and also in the parcels owned by CPS west of our main improvements. That should be about it.
Okay, so he has obviously introduced it, so we have his support. And I think his support was at Plan Commission also. So questions, comments? All right, I wish I had one in my ward, to be honest with you. Can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed as revised.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great,
All
thank
right,
you.
we're going back to page one. Alderman Martin is with us. We're gonna start with application number A 8779, 47th Ward. Ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. The common address is 3357 through 3361 North Lincoln Avenue. Change request from a C12 neighborhood commercial district to B32 community shopping district. Alderman Martin.
Mr. Chairman, this is Alderman Dowell. Please add me to the quorum.
Thank you, Alderwoman Dow. I thought you were going to take a day off after your hearing, so we.
No rest for the weary.
Yeah. All right, my dear. All right, thanks. All right, Alderman Martin.
Thanks very much, Chair. I think this is the first of several that we have in 47. You have all the details. We have the requisite support from community and would appreciate your favorable consideration.
All right. Just as we go through the ones on Lincoln Avenue, tell us a little bit about what the vision is there, since I'm your neighbor.
So for Lincoln more generally, what we want to do is a continuation of what has been in place since before I got in office, which is using our various transit stops for Transdorian development related purposes. It has the support of our chambers of commerce with these. We work very closely with them, especially around first floor, to make sure that the footprint is the right size. There are times where we're comfortable moving forward with a commercial storefront. Sometimes it's gonna be something that's like work or even residential, but we want to make sure that for an area that used to be the second highest trafficked area from a commercial standpoint in the city, after the Magnificent Mile, we've seen a lot of lost density. And Chairman, if you know better than I, that loss of density has led to reduced foot traffic and significant commercial vacancies. And so we view these mixed use developments as an opportunity to replenish density, replenish some of the affordability that we've lost, while still in keeping with the built environment and the broader goals for chambers and residents.
Thank you, Matt. Questions, comments from committee members? Alderman Osterman.
Thank you, Chairman. Just want to commend Alderman Martin for leading his community through that conversation. A lot of times there's a lot of issues that neighbors raise about parking and other things, but I think there's a lot of legwork that Alderman Martin put in on the ground with neighbors and with the chamber and with businesses to get them to the place that they did. So just wanted to recognize that hard work.
All right, thank you, Alderman. Any other questions? If not, Alderman Osterman moves to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? All right, this item is passed. We'll move quickly to the next two, since the narrative Alderman Martin is applicable to the next two. That being number A 8780 in the 47th Ward. Ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. Common address is 3226 through 3228 North Lincoln Avenue. And the change request, C13 neighborhood district, commercial neighborhood district to B33 community shopping district. Again, Alderman Martin, quickly on this one.
This is also one that has the requisite community support. We viewed these two projects in tandem and shared them with the community as such, and would appreciate your favorable consideration.
Thank you. All right. Next one. Oh, I'm sorry. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, Alderman Osterman moves to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Hearing no objections, the item is passed. Now, document number A 8781, also in the 47th Ward. Ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. Common address 4157 North Lincoln Avenue. And the change request from C12 Neighborhood Commercial District to B12 Neighborhood Shopping District. Alderman Martin.
Thank you, Chair. This one in particular is the rezoning to help allow a wine store to move into a part of Lincoln Avenue north of Irving Park that is in stronger shape, has support from the local chamber, the neighborhood association. We think would be a great complement to the existing commercial environment.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions or comments on this one on Lincoln Avenue 4157? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Staying in the 47th Ward, document number A 8783. The ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. This common address, 2159 West Addison Street. And the change request from C12 Neighborhood Commercial District to RT4 Residential 2-Flat Townhouse and Multi-Unit District. Again, Alderman Martin.
Thank you, Chair. I actually misspoke about the last one and the current one. These are back zones. So we have several situations where in order to get the requisite community support, we worked to do a back zone. The prior applicants did not move forward with them as quickly as we would have liked to. So we thought it would be appropriate to just move forward ourselves so that any potential future use beyond what's currently planned would be consistent with neighborhood values.
Okay, so let me just reiterate. For the one on Lincoln Avenue, 4157, for the record, this was for the wine store. Is that correct?
That is not correct. My apologies. It was something on the other side of the street. So this one is an auto repair location where we moved forward previously with the rezoning in order for them to do some needed additions to the property. And now we are moving forward with the requested back zone. So my sincere apologies to you, Chairman, and the rest of the committee.
Okay, so we're going to go back. We're going to go back to document number A8781 based on your testimony and the fact that it was the wrong use at the time. So again, for the members of the committee, this was a commercial-driven business. And finish that thought for me, will you please? Alderman Martin. 41.
So this was 4157 Seattle House. They needed a zoning change previously in order to move forward with an enclosure of a space that was between the main storefront off of Lincoln and then a garage in the back. We agreed to do that so long as we could come back at some point and do a back zone, which is what we're pursuing right now.
Okay, so there was a covenant once they got their business done and permits issued that we would revert to the underlying zoning, correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
That's correct.
So that makes sense. All right. On the issue on 8781, I'm still going to need a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum.
So moved, Chairman.
All right, Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Now, the one we're on 8783, this is 2159 West Addison. For the record, Alderman Martin, give us the narrative again on this one.
Yeah, so similar situation here. This is Roscoe Village Pub. So this is a back zone for similar reasons. They're going to continue to operate the business as such.
Okay, so this is, they got their permits to do what they needed to do. This is a commercial establishment. And then you're moving it back to the pre-existing zoning on this one. All right. Okay. Questions from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Any motion on that one, please? Alderman,
Move to pass, so.
Alderman Wagisback makes the motion on this one. Any objections? Hearing none, the item is passed. Let me see, we've got one more in the 47th Ward. I'll read it into the record. Document number A8784, 47th Ward, ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. Common address is 1757 West School Street, and the change request from an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district to an RS3 residential single-unit detached house district. Again, Alderman Matt Martin.
Yeah, so this is something where we felt comfortable moving forward after community input with a new development here. So not commercial like some of the other properties, and would appreciate your favorable consideration.
All right, so we're the project on 1757 West School. Originally, you allowed a development there from an to an RM 4.5. Project is done, and you're reverting the zoning back to the RS3. Is that the way? Okay. All right. Questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass on this item by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Osterman so moves.
Alderman Osterman makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Thank you, Alderman Martin. We see him later in the agenda. All right. Well, if we do, we do. All right. Middle of page 2. Document number 21114, 48th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 6036 North Broadway. The change request from B12 Neighborhood Shopping District to C12 Neighborhood Commercial District. All right. We have Tom Moore.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This is an iconic age-old bar on Broadway, neighborhood's favorite, called the Double Bubble. And during the pandemic, they had an outdoor use in their backyard, which was permitted by BACP. That program is ending, and the use was so popular in the neighborhood that this zoning change would allow them to expand their license and for that use to continue under the supervision of Alderman Osterman and his staff. We had a info meeting with invited 750 feet out of people in the neighborhood, and had some questions but no objections. And then Alderman Osterman had his own ward-wide community meeting, and again there were no objections, and we have Alderman Osterman's letter of his support, and we appreciate your support as well.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Alderman Osterman, I'm sure you had a thorough community process there, probably. And
We did. This is an establishment that's been around a long time, and this zoning change will enable them to have an outdoor patio. Neighbors were notified, contacted, and there was overwhelming support for this. So I would ask the members of the committee to support the change.
all righty. Thank you, Alderman. Any questions for the Alderman or the applicant? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Rodriguez so moves.
Alderman Rodriguez makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed, and my staff seems to be very happy about this one, so I just wanted to put that on the record. All right. On bottom of page 2, we are going to take a motion to defer this item. I will read it into the record. It's document number 21116, 29th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 6134 through 6138 West North Avenue. And the change request from B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to B31 Community Shopping District. I need a motion to defer this item at the request of Alderman Teleferro. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion to defer. Any objections? Hearing none, this item will be deferred. All right. top of page 3. Document number 21113, 26th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 2600 West Superior Street. The change request RS3 Residential Single Unit Detached House District to an RM 4.5 Residential Multi-Unit District. And we have Mr. Moore again on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a situation where a young man and his mother bought what they thought was a 3-flat or a 2-flat with a coach house behind it. And it turned out that there was a lot of misrepresentations, and to bring the entire property into compliance, he's going to have to, he has hired an architect. He's going to have to do a lot of work, and we're going to have to go to the zoning board. But to have compliant zoning to be able to do that is the purpose of this. He and his mom went and saw Alderman Maldonado. They explained their plight. They showed all the aldermen their plans, and we have a letter of support to allow them to try to bring this property into compliance.
We do have a letter of support from Alderman Maldonado. My assumption is we're going to have a finished product with 3 units and a coach house.
The coach house is one of the 3 units.
Okay, all right. All right, questions, comments? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderman Raboyes.
So moved, Chairman. Alderman Wagisback.
Alderman Wagisback makes the motion to move to pass. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Middle of page 3, document number 21115, 19th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 1931 through 35 West 95th Street. Change request B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to C11 Neighborhood Commercial District. And we have Mr. Moore again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a lady who has an existing spa where she does various remedies for massage remedies, but she's a licensed nurse and has gotten a certificate in a specialty that treats lymphatic therapies that are categorized by the code as massage, particularly things with it treats leukemia and various things. She's very impressive. We went to the 19th Ward Zoning Committee. They unanimously support her expanding her existing facility to be able to do these additional services. We have a letter of support from Alderman O'Shea, and we'd appreciate your support as well.
Confirming, we do have a letter of support from Alderman O'Shea. Questions, comments, committee members? If not, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So moved.
Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to her motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Now we're in the bottom of page 3, document number 21142, 5th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022, and the common address is 7108 South Greenwood Avenue. The change request from an RS3 Residential Single Unit Detached House District to an RT4 Residential 2-flat Townhouse and Multi-Unit District. And we have Mr. Moore again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a empty, vacant lot that has been kind of a neighborhood dumping ground and stuff. This young man who is this LLC has gone through a process with Alderman Sawyer and gotten his support to put a 3-flat there, which will eliminate the problem with the lot and create housing on what has been a vacant lot. Alderman Sawyer is supporting it. We request your support as well.
or was it
Alderwoman Harrison, you have the letters?
Tom?
Yes,
Alderwoman Hairston is the alderman of the Fifth Ward. You mentioned.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. The letter is from Alderman Hairston. I'm very sorry.
Okay. We do have a
misspoke.
letter. We do have a letter of support from Alderwoman Hairston. And with that, any questions, comments? Hearing none, can we get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right. Now we're on the top of page 4. In the 43rd Ward, document number 21106T1. The ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. The address is 1900 North Maud Avenue. And the change request from M12 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district. And Mr. Moore in the 43rd Ward.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is a older building that has been a kind of down at the heels 4 unit. The owner, the purchaser is going to make a single family out of it and renovate it and bring it up to be code compliant. It went through the Ranch Triangle community process, and Alderman Michelle Smith was supportive of it. But because she left, we held it from a meeting or two ago. And now the new alderman is supporting it, and we request your support as well.
All right, we do have a letter of support or an email from Alderman Knudsen on this item. But we have to accept the substantive narrative and plans for the type 1 application by the same roll call that was used to determine.
So move on that.
So Alderman Raboyes makes the motion to accept the substantive narrative and plans. Any objections? Hearing none. The plans are there. Now we have questions on the actual project itself. Are you finished, Mr. Moore?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I think I'm a little familiar with the applicant, it looks like. Is that the famous Fenton Booth?
Well, he's the current owner, and there's a young lady who is the contract purchaser contingent upon being able to make this renovation.
Okay. Well, he's a renowned architect in the city of Chicago, Mr. Booth is. All right. We do, as I said, let's see, we have Alderman Villegas. You want to be recognized for quorum, or do you have a comment on this item?
No, I have no comment, Chairman, just recognized for quorum.
You got it. All right. Okay, other questions, comments? Again, we do have support from Alderman Knudsen. Can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So moved.
Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed with the substantive narrative and plans. All right, middle of page 4, document number 21159, 25th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 1931 through 1933 South Jefferson Street. And the change request from C12 Neighborhood Commercial District to B23 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Mr. Moore, are you on this case also?
Well, yeah, this is my last one, and really I'm a substitute. What this is a corrective project, a corrective case for the exact same thing was passed in June under number 21041, but it had a typo, a north where there should have been a south or vice versa. So this is corrective. And this was filed by Rolando Acosta's firm, but then a conflict developed. And so with the permission of Mr. Murphy and others, I substituted in to finalize it. And I'm told we have the support of Alderman Cicho Lopez, and we'd request your support as well.
All right, Alderman Cicho Lopez, we have received a letter or an email or something of support, but you're on the call. Byron?
Yes, Chairman. Yes, yes, as Mr. Moore mentioned, the applicant has met with the zoning advisory board and fulfilled the requirements of being able to address some of the concerns. So we're asking the committee for a favorable vote on this item after we have addressed the substitute satisfactory with the board. Thank you, Chairman.
All right, so you've heard from the alderman, you've heard from the applicant. We have questions. All right, can I get a motion move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? That is my.
So moved.
So move Cardona.
All right, I'll do Alderman Cardona on that one. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bottom of page 4. Document number 21167, 48th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 5940 North Sheridan Road. The change request from B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to B32 Community Shopping District. We have Nick Fatikas on this item in 48.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Nick Fatikas from the law offices of Sam Banks, and I am here on behalf of the property owner. The zoning change in this request is for the Colvin House, which is a landmark building in the city of Chicago. The owner-operator intends to seek a zoning change to broaden the uses that can be allowed at the property. Specifically, she's looking to establish a combination of co-working office space, banquet uses, as well as on-site kitchen and catering. The zoning change, again, was reviewed by the ASCO community organization, as well as the Edgewater Chamber of Commerce. And I believe we do have a letter of support from Alderman Osterman, although I do see he's on the call as well. So I'll defer back to you or the alderman to speak from here.
All right. Alderman Osterman on this item on Sheridan.
Thank you, Chairman. The Colvin House is a mansion on Sheridan Road that has been fully restored to a really dynamic multi-use space that is co-working, event space, indoor, outdoor. So the zoning change will allow for a PPA application. It's a wonderful building. If everyone gets an opportunity to come up and check it out, there'll be a lot of holiday events. But I would ask the committee support to allow them to kind of move forward with this vision for the building.
Thank you, Alderman. Handsome building and a great adaptive reuse. Questions, comments from other committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Alderman Wagasback.
Alderman Wagasback makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, top of page 5. Document number 21132, 33rd Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3051 West Irving Park Road. And the change request from B31 Community Shopping District to B32 Community Shopping District. And we have Nick Fatikas again on this call, on this application.
Thank you, Chairman. Again, Nick Fatikas from the law offices of Sam Banks. In this case, we are seeking a zoning change to allow a new construction building to replace a previously existing mixed-use building that was damaged by fire. The proposed building will have retail space at grade and a total of 3 residential units above. The current zoning is B3-1, so in order to allow the 3 residential units above grade, we are seeking a zoning change to the B3-2 zoning district. My office and the applicant work directly with Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez's office and the 33rd Ward Zoning Review Committee. And the alderman did provide a letter of support for the project, and I believe staff should have a copy of that as well.
Nick, we do have a letter of support from Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez. Questions, comments? The only thing I want to ask about this one. So the applicant is Red Dog LLC.
Yes.
Now, are they going back into the commercials? Who's going into the commercial?
No, their intent is to lease the commercial space on the open market. So once they deliver the space,
Okay.
they'll seek to rent it.
All right. All right, other questions, comments? If not, can I get a motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So moved.
Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to her motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. Moving on to middle of page 5, document number 21135, in the 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3300 West Franklin Boulevard. And the change request from M12 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District, to M22 Light Industry District. Nick Fatikas, again, in 27.
Thank you, Chair. Again, for the record, Nick Fatikas. I'm here on behalf of the property owners, again, regarding 3300 West Franklin Boulevard. The zoning change in this case is required because one of the intended tenants of the two-story manufacturing or warehouse building that's at the subject property is a cannabis infuser production type business. In order to qualify or be eligible for special use approval, we're seeking a zoning change from the current M1 zoning, M1-2 to an M2-2. I point out for the committee that, again, this is step 1 in a 2-step process. We will need a special use from the Zoning Board of Appeals in order to establish the use. But again, the zoning change allows us to be eligible for that special use. No changes are proposed to the 2-story building. This is an adaptive reuse of existing manufacturing warehouse space within the building. We did work directly with Alderman Burnett's office, as well as I believe it's the West Humboldt Park Community Association. We also met with one of the local school organizations, and we're not aware of any type of objection at this time.
All right, Alderman Burnett.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. As the counselor said, he did meet with me. He met with the local community organization, the West Humboldt Park Development Council. We had a community meeting. We also encouraged them to talk with the adjacent schools to the development. And if I'm not mistaken, they did meet with the Garfield Park Community Council also. Whatever objections that were in place, they resolved them. So I ask for the committee's support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alderman. I know initially there was some concern from some of the schools, but that seems to be vetted out and no objections we received in our office. All right. Questions, comments? Can I get a motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move, Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right. Bottom of page 5, document number 21146, in the 12th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address, 2026 South Washington Avenue. Change request from C12 Neighborhood Commercial District to B23 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Again, Nick Fatikas on this item in 12.
Thank you, Chairman. Again, for the record, Nick Fatikas from the Law Offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the property owner. In this case, Chairman, we have a situation where there's an existing 7-unit residential building with 1 commercial space. When my clients purchased the property, the commercial space had already been converted to a residential unit. So in order to bring the property into compliance, we are seeking a zoning change from the C1-2 zoning district to the B2-3 zoning district. I'd also point out, as it's indicated in our application, that due to the lot size of typical 3,125 square foot lot, a variation will also be required in order to permit the minimum lot area total. But again, it's to bring existing building conditions into compliance with the code. We did work directly with the 12th Ward on this project, and we did supply a letter of support as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions you or the committee members might have about our program.
You're on mute, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, thanks, staff. Okay. All right. Any questions on this application in the 12th ward? We do have a letter of support from Alderman Cardenas. Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that used to determine quorum? And that would be Alderman Burnett, since he caught me without a mic on, makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, top of page 6. Document number 21144 in the 8th ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 8035 South Dobson. Change request from RS3 residential single unit detached house district to an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district. And we have Nick Fatikas again on this item in the 8th ward.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, Nick Fatikas from the Law Offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant and property owner regarding the zoning change request at 8035 South Dobson. The existing building contains 3 units and it sits on a 4,466 square foot lot. The applicant is seeking a zoning change to permit a 4th unit within the existing multi-unit residential building. The footprint of the building will not change. The proposed unit would actually go in at the garden level. And based on the size of the lot, we were able to incorporate an additional parking space, which is one of the questions that came up during our review process with neighbors. Based on that, Alderman Harris has issued a letter of support, and I believe that's already on file with your staff. If you have any questions about the program, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right, we do have a letter of support from Alderwoman Harris. What do we have? Total number of units, 4 units
total.
and 4 parking?
Correct. So exactly,
Okay.
we're able to maintain 1-to-1, even though
Okay.
it's not technically required. It was something that came up during our
Great.
review process with neighbors.
Okay, all right. Questions, comments? Otherwise, I need a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum.
So move, Alderman.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, middle of page 6, document number 21145, T1 in the 3rd ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 2635 South Wabash. And the change request from M13 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to B33 Community Shopping District. Nick, again, in the 3rd ward.
Yes, so again, for the record, Nick Fatikas from the Law Offices of Sam Banks. I'm here on behalf of the applicant and property owner. The proposed zoning change from M1-3 to B3-3 would allow for the mixed-use adaptive reuse of the existing building with some additions, limited additions on the 5th floor. Ultimately, the manufacturing building would be converted to a mixed-use building with retail space at grade and a total of 54 residential units above. We did work at length with Alderman Dowell's office on this proposal. And I'd be happy, I believe the letter of support is again already on file, although I believe she was participating earlier. I'd be happy to answer any questions you or the committee members have about the program for the adaptive reuse of the building.
All right. We do have a letter of support from Alderwoman Dowell. Is she on the call, Pat?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Chairman. Just wanted to add my support for this project, which rehab a existing building in my ward that's currently underutilized. Ask for the committee's support.
All righty. Thank you, Chairwoman. Any questions for Alderman Dowell or the applicant? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? That would be Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Bottom of page 6, document number 21168 in the 48th ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 6341 North Clark Street. Change request B32 Community Shopping District to C12 Neighborhood Commercial District. Mike Esger.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Michael Esger from the law firm of Acosta Esger on behalf of the applicant, Randall's Pub. And this property has vacant commercial storefront that we're seeking to rezone from B32 to C12 to allow for Randall's Pub to occupy the space as a tavern. We've been working with Alderman Osterman and successfully navigated the robust community process in the 48th Ward. We have letters of support from the Edgewater Chamber, and we've had several meetings that went well. We're not aware of any objection, and Alderman Osterman is here. We're available for questions.
All right, Alderman Osterman, we do have a letter of support, but I see you on the call. Do you want to opine on this, please?
Just, it's a vacant establishment that used to be a bar, and Randall's Pub wants to go in there. We talked to the community at length about it, had several meetings, and the community's in support. So I would ask my colleagues to support this change to enable Randall's Pub to open up.
Okay, just a quick question, Harry. So Randall's is an existing pub licensee and expanding, or is this an?
No, it was a dormant place right near the intersection of Devon and Clark on Clark Street. With COVID, and I think even before COVID, it closed up. And Randall's Pub is it's a new establishment that's going to open on that intersection. There's a couple other places around there that picking up some vibrancy, working with Alderman Vasquez and Alderwoman Haddon. So I think the community's in support, and I think I'd ask my colleagues to be supportive as well.
Thank you, Alderman Osterman. Any questions for the applicant or the alderman? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Move to pass, Alderman.
Alderman Wagisback makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Moving on to page 7, top of page 7, document number 21089. In the 28th Ward, ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. Common address is 5050 through 5098 and 5091 through 5099 West Jackson Boulevard. Also, 235 through 313 South Leamington Avenue and 5043 through 5099 West Quincy Street. The change request, institutional plan development 1103 and RT4 residential 2 flat townhouse and multi-unit district to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district, then to institutional plan development number 1103 as amended. Mike Esger again on this item in the 28th Ward. Michael.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Yes, I'm appearing Michael Esger on behalf of the Chicago Jesuit Academy. The CJA is a full scholarship program for children from the Austin community to be able to access college preparatory programs where they otherwise might not be able to. Last year, we were before you and approved by City Council on an amendment to expand their campus so that they could serve not only the young men from the Austin community, but also the young women as well. And that expansion of the campus has gone on. One of the issues that came up during the community review process with Alderman Irvin a year ago was that as much parking as we could account for off street into well landscaped parking areas on site was the preference. The CJA was able to pick up another lot and acquire another lot to expand the parking by 15 spaces. So we're here before you on an amendment to the PD to allow an expansion of the boundary by approximately 3,500 square feet to allow for the additional parking. As a preliminary matter, this was before the Plan Commission last Thursday, October 20th, successfully, and we'd like to incorporate the that proceeding in today's hearing.
The Alderman Raboyes moves to incorporate the records from the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the records are incorporated, Michael.
Thank you very much. We, again, have gone through a community process. We have not heard any objection to this, and I'm not sure if Alderman Irvin is here to speak in support, but we do have a letter from him in support of this change.
And this was a-
With that, I'll let you ask any questions.
And of course, Alderman Irvin was supportive of Plan Commission on
Yes.
this. All right, I don't think Alderman Irvin's on the call. All right, but we do have, obviously, a support of Plan Commission is warranted to ask for a motion to move due pass by the same roll
Move
call.
due-
that was used to
Move to
determine
pass.
quorum. All right, it's
Alderman
Alderman
Burnett.
Burnett. Alderman Burnett makes the motion, to move due pass. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed as revised. All right.
Thank you very much.
Now, hold on a second. Alderwoman Nugent, are you on the call?
Yes, I am, Chairman.
You have one application.
I do.
Are you asking to maybe take it out of order?
Chairman, I would be very grateful if we could take it out of order.
All right, so we'll do that. And what page is this?
Top of page 10.
All right, committee members, we're gonna move to the top of page 10. And I'll read it into the record. Document number 21158 in the 39th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 6248 West Hyacinth Street. And the change request from an RS2 residential single unit detached house district to an RS3 residential single unit detached house district. Do we have Lisa Duarte on this, please? There she is.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, let's talk about this item in the 39th Ward, please.
So good morning to the chair and members of the committee. My name is Lisa Duarte and I'm here with Point of Difference Strategies on behalf of Mr. Rivas. This is a single family residence at 6248 West Hyacinth. It is currently zoned as an RS2 residential single unit district, and our request is to change it to an RS3 residential single unit. If you were to walk past this building, it would only appear to be 1 story, but due to the grade height of the basement, it is technically considered to be 2 stories. Mr. Rivas would like to add what he considers to be a 3rd story, but is technically a 2nd story, but is technically a 3rd story. So we would need a required change in the FAR so that it could be accommodated, and that would only be able to go under the RS3 designation. Alderman Nugent has been kind enough to meet with the community and provide a letter of support, and I'd like to give her an opportunity to speak.
Opportunity to speak, okay? So since I think it's my committee, Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm done talking.
Kind of a little levity in this long hearing, so, all right.
Thank you, Alderman.
Alderwoman Nugent, please.
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning to you and the committee. As Lisa had stated, I have met with the applicant for this single family home. I've also had the applicant meet with the local civic association. The Gladstone Park Community Association has no objection to this proposed zoning change from RS2 to RS3. Neither do I. Thank you for the opportunity, Chairman. I ask for your favorable consideration.
Thank you, Alderwoman. And questions for the applicant or the alderman? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? That would be my-
Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, the item is passed.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Woman's name again is?
Lilia. Hold on.
Okay, Lily Keys.
Lilia.
Lilia Keys. We're trying to get this item put forth on behalf of Alderwoman Austin. Is that right? Okay, but we can't find her, basically.
Yeah, if you're here, raise your hand.
If, again, Miss Keys, if you're here, we need to hook you up. Do we have her?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So where are we going on this
We
one?
are going to.
All right, again, little bit of indulgence on behalf of some of the alder persons. We are going to page 18. Let me see, page 18.
Yes, bottom of page 18.
All right, document number 21117, 18th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 2449 West 79th Street. Change request B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to C11 Neighborhood Commercial District. And we have Lilia Key.
We're here.
All right, let's start.
Here it is. Here it is. You got it? Okay, we're here.
All right, Ms. Key.
Good morning, and I apologize. We had a few technical difficulties. My name is Lilia Key. I am the owner of Gallery LKC and the 30-year owner of Lenore's Kitchen Catering. We are asking for a zone change for the gallery located at 2449 West 79th Street. We'd like to continue as a functioning art gallery, be able to also do catering and banquets here at this facility and community service work, of which we've just fed over 109 individuals in this community. So we are asking for the support of the committee to grant us the zone change in order to continue the work that we've been doing over 30 years through the catering, through our collaboration with Josephine's restaurant, as well as additional community service leaders through our work through the Key Works Association, of the Wade's company and nonprofit organization, We Women Empowered, in servicing and feeding the community. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak today.
All right, Ms. Key, we do have a letter of support from Alderman Curtis in the 18th
Yes.
Ward. I'm a little familiar with this area. So it's an existing art gallery.
Yes, it is.
And your goal is not only to empower the community, but by offering banquet space, catering. Is there pre-existing kitchen there, or are you gonna have to build that out too?
There is a kitchen. We are doing, we would like to do some upgrades. And as well as the art gallery, it is a functioning art gallery. We do have some artists that we are currently featuring at the time. So it will remain an art gallery as well.
Okay. All right, we have Alderwoman Carrie Austin with her hand up on this item, please.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to lend my support to this applicant. I have known, we don't call her Ms. Keys, we call her Lenore, because she was so instrumental in feeding so many of my facilities out on the far south side during the pandemic, especially like at Roseland Hospital, working along with Mother Josephine Wade, as well as some of my senior facilities, my nursing home. So as the project that she wanted to do now, I hate that it takes her away so far away from us, but we are grateful for all of the service that she have provided to so many on the far south side. And I'm hoping that we have passage for this endeavor of hers. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Any questions, comments from committee members?
So move.
All right, and we do have a letter of support from Alderman Curtis. Alderman Burnett makes the motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman and committee.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna yield the floor. Am I doing that?
Correct.
All right, Vice Chair Roboyes, the floor is yours on back to the middle of page 7.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I got file number. I got two file numbers. Is it 21063 or 21163?
21163.
One, okay. So it's file number 21163 for the address commonly known as 3242 North Sheffield Avenue. The change request from a B3-2 Community Shopping District to a B2-3 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Do we have Attorney Ximena Castro on the line?
Yes, good
Okay.
morning.
You may present. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
For the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Edgar. Good morning to you, Chairman, and to the members of the committee. As the chairman correctly identified, I am here for the matter at 3242 North Sheffield Avenue. We're seeking to rezone the property from a B32 to a B23 to allow the addition of, to legalize 2 existing units on the property. For background, it's a 4-dwelling unit building with 2 legal units and 2 illegal units. And we are legalizing both of the 2 illegal units. There is a 2-car parking garage and no parking will be added. And we, I believe, have the support of Alderman Tunney's office.
Thank you, Jimena. Chairman, would you like to speak on the matter?
I do. Thank you, committee members. This house is probably 100 years old or more. It's almost directly across from our service office. You know, the ability to do residential on the ground floor is trending that way on the other side of the street. And so I think they've met with our neighborhood group and have garnered their support and has my support. So appreciate a favorable vote by the committee.
Thank you, Chairman. There are no objections or questions. Alderman Riley makes a motion to pass by same roll call used to determine quorum. Are there any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed.
All right. Thank you, Vice Chair. Now we're bottom of page 7. Document number 20987, T1 in the 25th Ward. Ordinance was referred on March 23rd of 2022. Common address 2100, 2102, West 18th Place, also 1814 through 1824 South Foyne Avenue. And the change request from RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to a B23 neighborhood mixed use district. Jimena Castro on this item in 25.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Edgar and also the attorney for the matter before you today at 2100 through 02 West 18th Place. We're seeking to rezone the property from an RT4 to a B23. The property is a double lot that includes a 2-story building with 2 dwelling units and a 2-car parking garage. And it includes also a vacant lot. We wish to rezone the property to demolish the existing improvements and build a 4-story building with 8 dwelling units. 2 of those units will be ADA. 1 of the ADA units will be offered at affordable rent through a covenant with the Alderman's office. We also will be included 4 parking spaces and 8 bicycle spaces. This is also a property that is located in a TOD district to the Damon CTA train station. We do have a letter of support from the Alderman's office, and I cede the floor.
Thank you. Alderman Cicho Lopez in the 25th Ward.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Jimena. I want to thank the applicant for their patience on this item. I know that we had a robust community participation. I'm really glad that you being able to address the needs and concerns of the community with more accessibility and an extra affordable housing unit that is badly needed in our community. So I appreciate the patience. I know it's being took a few rounds, but I really appreciate your patience. And again, I think this is a welcome adjustment to the application. So I'd like to ask my colleagues for a favorable vote on this item. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman.
All right. Any questions, comments for the applicant or the Alderman? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass?
So
by the
moved,
city
Chairman.
clerk? Is that my Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion? Any objections? This item is passed. All right. Next, again, top of page 8. Document number 21173, T1, 25th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 1956 through 58 West 21st Place. Also 2115 through 25 South Damon Avenue. And the change request, RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to a B23 neighborhood mixed use district. Again, we have Jimena Castro on this item in 25.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Ezger, zoning attorney as well for the matter before you today and for the applicant for this matter. For the property located at 1956 through 58 West 21st Place, we seek to rezone the property from an RT4 to a B23. The property is comprised of one zoning lot that includes a front building that includes 3 dwelling units and 1 commercial unit, and a rear building that includes 2 dwelling units. There is no parking on the property. We wish to rezone the property to allow the existing commercial use and ground floor residential use, and also are rezoning the property to grant the applicant the ability to add 1 ground floor dwelling unit in the front building in the future. There will be no parking provided, as this is also a TOD property to the Damon Pink Line. We have a letter of support from Alderman Sitio Lopez as well.
All right, Alderman Sitio Lopez on this item on 21st Place.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. And yes, our office conducted a meeting with the zoning advisory board. We're in agreement. We have no objection, given that this is a TOD appropriate use of the TOD ordinance. So we have no objection, and we ask the committee for a favorable vote on this item as well. Thank you, Chairman.
All right, questions for the Alderman or the applicant? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
That was Vice Chair Robois makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, now we are going to stay, it looks like, in the 12th ward, right?
Yes.
Oh.
The next item.
Okay, so we have to hear each of these items separately in the 12th ward, but they're all basically legalizing or adding additional units. Well, we'll get to them. Yeah, so we'll start with document number 21160, 12th ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 2244 South Sawyer Avenue. And the change request from an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district. Jimena Castro on this item.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Ezger, the zoning attorney for the matter before you today at 2244 South Sawyer, zoning attorney for the applicant as well. We seek to rezone the property from an RT4 to an RM 4.5. The property includes a residential building with 3 dwelling units and 3 surface parking spaces. We seek to rezone the property to allow 1 dwelling unit on the property for a total of 4 dwelling units on the property. No parking will be added, and we do have a letter of support from Alderman Cardenas's office.
Correct. We do have a letter of support from Alderman Cardenas. Questions from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to her motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Bottom of page 8, document number 21161 T1 in the 12th ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 2435 South California Boulevard. Change request from an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to an RM6 residential multi-unit district. All right, Ms. Castro.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, again, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Ezger and the zoning attorney for the matter before you today at 2435 South California Boulevard. We are seeking to rezone the property from an RT4 to an RM6. The property includes 1 zoning lot that includes 1 front building with 3 dwelling units and 1 rear building with 3 dwelling units and no parking. We seek to rezone the property to add 2 dwelling units in the front building for a total of 8 dwelling units on the property. No parking will be added, and we do have a letter of support from the Alderman's office.
We do have a letter of support from Alderman Cardenas, but briefly, what's the size of the lot?
1 second. It is 2,910 square feet.
So it's a smaller lot, but what are the dimensions? I'm sorry.
It is 24.25 by 120.
Okay, a little bit shorter. So currently there are how many units on site?
There are a total of 6 units on the property currently.
And they're going to add 2 more?
Correct, in the front building.
And I'm assuming no parking, doesn't look like there's room for parking.
No.
And so they met with the alderman and the community is agreeable to this.
Correct.
All right, any other questions, comments, committee members? We do have a letter of support from Cardenas, correct?
Yes.
All right. We do have a letter of support from the alderman. Any questions, comments? Otherwise, I need a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum.
So moved, Alderwoman Haddon.
Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to her motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right. Top of page 9. Top of page 9. Document number 21162, also in the 12th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 2719 West 24th Street. Change request from an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to an RM5 residential multi-unit district. Ms. Castro?
Thank you, Chairman. Once more, for the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Edgar, zoning attorney for the matter before you today at 2719 West 24th Street. We're seeking to rezone the property from an RT4 to an RM5. The property is improved with a residential building that includes 2 dwelling units and 3 illegal units and no parking. We're seeking to rezone the property to legalize the 3 existing illegal units and add 1 dwelling unit for a total of 6 dwelling units on the property. The applicant will be providing 3 surface parking spaces as well. And we do have a letter of support from the Alderman's office.
All right. Questions, comments from committee members? We do have a letter of support from Cardenas. Can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right. Lastly, in the 12th Ward, I believe, at least for now. We have 2 more, I'm sorry. Document number 21164 in the 12th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3239 West 23rd Street. Change request from an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district. Ms. Castro?
Thank you, Chairman. Again, once more for the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Edgar, zoning attorney for the matter before you today at 3239 West 23rd Street. We're seeking to rezone the property from an RT4 to an RM 4.5. The property is improved with the front building that includes 2 dwelling units, a rear building that includes 1 dwelling unit, and there is no parking. We're seeking to rezone the property to add 1 dwelling unit in the front building for a total of 4 dwelling units on the property, and there will be no parking added. We do have a letter of support from Alderman Cardenas's office that was tendered to the committee.
Received that letter from Alderman Cardenas. Any comments, questions from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to her motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, and the last item in 12 with Ms. Castro is document number 21172, 12th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 2542 South Albany Avenue. Change request from RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district. And we have Ms. Castro again on this item.
Thank you, Chairman. For the record, my name is Jimena Castro. I am a zoning attorney at Acosta Edgar, zoning attorney for the matter before you today at 2542 South Albany Avenue. We're seeking to rezone the property from an RT4 to an RM 4.5. The property is improved with a residential building that includes 3 dwelling units and 1 surface parking space. We are seeking to rezone the property to add 1 dwelling unit for a total of 4 units on the property. And the applicant will be adding 2 additional parking spaces for a total of 3 parking spaces. We do have a letter of support from Alderman Cardenas on this matter.
We have received the letter from Alderman Cardenas. Any questions, comments from committee members? Before we take a vote on this one, so these last applications, obviously adding more density to the 12th ward, which is it's good for the city. What was the general reaction to the community? Did you have a community process meeting with the alderman?
So the matters were presented to the alderman. He assessed the matters with his zoning staff, and he deemed the rezonings appropriate for his ward.
Okay, we have I don't think we had any objections to any of these applications, correct? Okay.
No.
All righty. All righty, thank you. Motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum.
So move.
That is my vice chair, Raboyes, makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, the item is passed.
Thank
All
you.
right. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You as
Now,
well.
middle of page 10. Document number 21121, 37th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022 at common address 1255 through 57 North Central. Change request from an RS3 residential single unit detached house district to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district. Let's see, we have Tom Pekarsky on this call in 37.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I am Tom Pekarsky of the law firm of Gordon and Pekarsky, representing the applicant Igor Goncharko in this matter. We're before you seeking an amendment of the City of Chicago zoning map from the current RS3 to that of an RM 4.5 for the property commonly known as 1255 through 57 North Central Avenue. The subject property measures 52.32 feet by 125 feet. It is currently improved with a 6-unit residential building. The applicant seeks to renovate the existing vacant basement space of the building for use as 3 additional units, dwelling units. The total number of units upon completion will be 9 residential dwelling units. The floor area of the building will not be expanded, and the applicant will simply make use of the existing unused basement space. Excuse me. He will also increase the on-site parking by 3 spaces to accommodate the increased density. We have reviewed our plans with Alderman Mitz, who has provided a letter of support for the chairman's office previously. And therefore, we would ask the committee to vote its recommendation of passage of the application to the full city council.
Pekarsky, we do have a letter of support from Alderwoman Mitz. Just for the record, 9 units. How many parking is the total?
The total upon completion will be 5.
Okay.
We will be increasing the on-site by 3. There's currently 2.
All right. Questions, comments from committee members? Oh, we have Alderwoman Mitz. Would you like to opine on this? Chairwoman? Unmute yourself and let's hear.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. After looking at this location and observing, I see that there's no objection for the zoning change since there's no expansion of the existing building. So I ask favorable support from the committee.
Thank you, Alderman. Any questions for the Alderman or the applicant? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So moved, Chairman. Alderman Wagisback.
Alderman Wagisback makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, moving on, bottom of page 10, document number 21120, 23rd Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3635 through 3637 West 59th Place. And the change request from an RS2 residential single unit detached house district to an RS3 residential single unit detached house district. Tom Pekarsky again on this item.
Yes, thank you. Again, Mr. Chairman, I am Tom Pekarsky of the law firm of Gordon and Pekarsky, representing the applicant Margarita Beckstein. We're before you this morning, again, seeking an amendment of the City of Chicago zoning map from the existing RS2 to that of an RS3 for the property commonly known as 3635 through 37 West 59th Place. The subject site consists of two legal lots. Unfortunately, the city has interpreted that the two legal lots have been used in conjunction to form a single zoning lot. The applicant seeks to amend the zoning in order to subdivide the vacant lot at 3635 from the improved lot at 3637. 3637 will maintain the existing single-family home. 3635 will be improved with a new single-family home. We have reviewed our plans with Alderman Tabaris, who has provided a letter of support previously forwarded to the chairman. And therefore, we ask the committee to vote its recommendation of passage of the application to the full city council.
Thank you, Tom. We do have a letter of support from Alderwoman Tabaris. Questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
That is my Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tom. All right, top of page 11. We have slides on this one here. Document number 21139 in the 37th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common addresses are 3833 through 3859 West Chicago Avenue, 739 through 757 North Springfield Avenue, and 746 through 756 North Avers Avenue. And the change request from C11 Neighborhood Commercial District to B32 Community Shopping District, then to Residential Business Plan Development. We have Carol Stubblefield on this item in 37. Carol.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, Carol Stubblefield with Neil and Leroy, offices at 20 South Clark, here on behalf of the applicant 548 Development LLC. With me today to answer any questions is AJ Patton, managing member of 548, and the project architect from Lamar Johnson Collaborative. Mr. Chairman, this matter was heard and unanimously approved at the October 2022 Chicago Plan Commission. We ask that the findings and conclusions of the Chicago Plan Commission, all documents given to the Department of Planning and Development, be adopted into today's record.
So Vice Chair Raboyes moves to incorporate the records of the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the records are incorporated.
Thank
We shall
you.
proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can we go to the next slide? We just have a couple of slides. I just wanted to show how amazing this development looks, especially the rendering picture, I believe, is like the second or third down. This matter does request approval to rezone the property to a residential business plan development for the purpose of constructing a 4-story mixed-use building with 60 residential units, ground floor commercial space, and 30 parking spaces. This project is a low-income housing tax credit project that will provide 80% of the units as affordable. It's a sustainable project that includes solar panels on the roof for on-site energy generation. Next slide, please. The applicant has complied with all notice requirements and obtained all of the necessary approvals from the Department of Transportation, Bureau of Fire, and the Mayor's Office for people with disabilities. Next slide, please. The project will also meet and exceed the city's equitable hiring and goals for diversity and minority participation. It went through a very robust community engagement process. And we do have the support from the community, next slide, and Alderman Mitz. The project will provide 100 temporary construction jobs, and when the project is fully operational, will generate approximately 12 permanent jobs. That completes our testimony. Be happy to answer any questions.
All right. So this item received a favorable consideration with the Plan Commission with an exception. I think it was voiced by Commissioner Cox about the material, what he's defining as ethos.
That's correct.
So what are we doing about that?
So between Plan Commission and the hearing today, the architects did retool that exterior materials and did remove all references to ethos. And the material that will be used to construct the exterior of the building would be a precast.
Okay, all right, because I know there was, the project is very handsome and a great amenity to the 37th Ward. But there was a little hiccup there at the Plan Commission. With that being said, I know Alderwoman Mitz is on the call. Alderwoman Mitz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon to all of you. This project means a lot to the community because it is a block that is an eyesore right in the heart of the neighborhood. And having this development is certainly going to bring a new look on Chicago Avenue, as well as I want to thank my colleague Alderman Burnett. This project sits on the border, on one side being 37, where the entire project is located, but also on the east side of Avers is the 27th Ward. And we both share in this project for the community in the area. So having affordable housing construction is going to be led by AJ Patton, who's the developer for this project. And the community meeting, we are totally in support of this project being built. Looking forward to the support from my colleagues to help revitalize this area and put some hope in this community. So I'm looking forward to your support, lending your support to this project on passing the ordinance today.
Okay, well, you should be very proud. I know you worked hard on this project, Emma. So congratulations. Questions, comments from committee members?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Burnett.
Yeah, definitely I want to commend the alderman. Alderman Mitz is killing it on the west side, man. She has so many projects popping up. You know, I'm almost embarrassed to be on community meetings with her because she got more going on the west side than I do. And it's like, I'm not doing nothing and she's doing everything, you know, which is good.
All right.
I'm so happy for her. But this is a great project. It abuts our ward. We utilizing all the resources we can to help make this happen. The Black developer, his whole team is African-American. Community is so excited about it. This will revitalize Chicago Avenue, and this area is starting to become a hot area because of it. So I want to commend her and commend the Invest Southwest and the mayor's office and planning and everyone that's involved with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. On that, what side, the best side is the west side? Is that what I'm trying to indoctrinate in our council, right? All right.
Con Pastor Jimenez.
Okay. All righty. So,
Okay.
Other comments, questions?
Yo pensé,
All right. So I think that was Alderman Cardona makes the motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. Congratulations. All right. Middle of page 11. Document number 21127, 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 833 through 855 West Madison Street, 832 through 854 West Monroe, 1 through 39 South Peoria Street, and 2 through 40 South Green Street. The change request is plan development number 1377. The planned development number 1377 as amended. Again, we have Carol Stubblefield on this item in 27th Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Carol Stubblefield with Neil and Leroy, offices at 20 South Clark. Here on behalf of the applicant, 845 West Madison Street, owner LLC, the John Buck Company. With me today is Dominic Aducci from the John Buck Company and Joseph Fisher from GREC Architects. This is a technical amendment to Plan Development 1377 to include various DX downtown district permitted uses in the PD statements. This matter, Mr. Chairman, was heard and unanimously approved at the October 22 Chicago Plan Commission. We ask that the findings and conclusions of the Chicago Plan Commission and all documents given to the Department of Planning and Development be adopted into today's record.
Moves to incorporate the records from the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the records are incorporated. Continue, please.
Thank you. As mentioned, this is a technical amendment to add various DX downtown districts. Will not change the footprint of the existing building, traffic flow patterns, or increase the volume of the traffic from the existing uses approved in the original plan development. The change request is requested to expand their commercial leasing options. The original plan development really was for uses for some residential uses on the ground floor, or excuse me, commercial restaurant uses on the ground floor that during the pandemic just have not been viable for leasing options. So expanding these uses, giving them more additional commercial uses for leasing opportunities is important. This application was reviewed by the community groups and approved by those community groups, and Alderman Burnett. Be happy to answer any questions and request your favorable approval of this matter.
All right. Alderman Burnett on this technical amendment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. As the councilor said, this is just a small technical amendment to change the use that can go on the first floor of this building. They met with the 3 community organizations in this area. Nobody have a problem with it. This is really a no-brainer. We ask for the committee support. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. And I'm sorry, Carol, would you just refresh my memory? What is the proposed uses on the ground floor now?
So,
or potential,
right now,
I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the impetus for the change request was really for medical services. We have Rush University engaged to develop a medical walk-in, and I'll let Dominic speak a little bit more in detail about that, but it's really for Rush for medical services on the ground floor. But while we're going through the process, we just thought it made sense to expand all opportunities for leasing options.
All right. Okay. Well, we've heard enough from the Alderman, and I think I remember that being part of Plan Commission. So any other questions or comments? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move, Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed as revised. All right.
Thank you so much.
Bottom of page 11. Document number 21149 in the 36th ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 2948 North Narragansett Avenue. Change request from B31 Community Shopping District to B22 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Jesus Villafan.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did I get that right, Jesus? Could you?
Villafan, yes, sir. Jesus Villafan, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. You want to talk about this item on Narragansett, please?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Tooney, and members of the committee. My name is Jesus Villafan. My address is 2948 North Narragansett. I am the applicant, the owner of the property located at 2948 North Narragansett here in Chicago. My property is currently zoned B3-1 Community Shopping District. I am requesting a zone change to that of B2-2 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. My subject property is 3,756 square feet lot, improved with an existing single family home with a basement with a framed 2-car garage. I am proposing to establish a two-story, 2-dwelling unit building in the existing building with a framed 2-car garage at the rear of the lot. In order to accomplish this proposal, I filed an application to amend the zoning of the property from B3-1 Community Shopping District to that of a B2-2 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. I have the support of the alderman. I have sent proper notification to the community. With me today is my personal land use consultant, Kareem Musarier. Should the chairman, or the committee have any questions, we are available to answer them. Otherwise, we seek your approval of our application to amend the zoning of this property from B1-1 to B3-1 to B2-2. Thank you, Chairman Tooney and the community for your grace of this matter, and I thank you for the zoning staff for their help and their kind consideration.
All right, Alderman Villegas on this item in 36. All right, hold on a second. Let's see if we can find Gil.
Chairman?
All right, Gil, is that?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
All right. Okay, let's talk about Narragansett, please. The gentleman made a very professional presentation, I must say, except he mispronounced my name. But other than that, it was very good.
All right, Jesus, that was the one thing I wanted you to get correct.
All right, let's
Chairman-
talk about Narragansett, please.
Okay, we had submitted a letter of support, correct, on this, Chairman?
You might need to resend it. That's why I want to get your verbal okay.
Okay. Can you put this on hold for 1 second, Chairman, while I ask my. So,
Over 24. Pardon me, Alderman.
Yes, Jesus.
I received a letter of support July 26th of this year.
Okay, would you, we'll hear from Alderman Villegas's office, but have you submitted that to our committee?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We got it?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna give Villegas about a minute. Gil,
Yes, Chairman.
checking?
Yeah.
You checking still?
I checked with my office. We did submit a letter of support. Sorry that it didn't get to you. I'll have my staff. Get
Okay.
that.
Just for the record, we'll have it on file, please. Okay, so obviously, we do have the support of local aldermen. And with that, any other questions or comments? If not, I need a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. That would be my Vice Chair Villegas makes the motion. All right, Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion, excuse me. Any objections?
So moved.
Okay. So hearing no objections, the item is passed. All right, good
Thank-
luck to you. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman and committee.
Okay, thank you. All right, top of page 12. We are on document number 21154, T1, in the 35th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 3811 through 3813 West Montrose Avenue, and the change request from B31 Community Shopping District to B23 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Matt Ali on this item. Matt?
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, Chairman Tunney and members of the committee. For the record, Matthew Alley, an attorney with the law firm of Shane Banks, Kenny and Schwartz, on behalf of the applicant Montrose One LLC. The applicant purchased the property located at 3811 to 3813 West Montrose in December of 2015, which at the time was a two-story building with 4 total dwelling units, including 2 residential units on the ground floor. Ground floor units were occupied by residential tenants at the time of purchase, and the residential use has continued through today. The applicant has since learned that these two ground floor units were converted to a residential use without proper city-issued permits. We now seek the proposed zoning change from B3-1 to B2-3 in order to legalize these longstanding residential dwelling units. Prior to filing this application, the project team worked closely with Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa's office and provided historical records and information that showed the building, which dates back to at least 1915, was originally built as a 4-flat. Sometime between 1933 and 1957, the ground floor units were converted to commercial. However, we can find no business license history at the property, which dates back to at least 2001, which is the farthest back VASP's license records go. The project was reviewed by local residents and community groups through the Alderman's community review process, which resulted in no objections or concerns. As such, the Alderman has provided a letter of no objection, which has been provided to the committee for your review. We now request this committee's favorable consideration of this matter and would welcome any questions or comments from the committee members.
Okay, thanks, Matt. We do have a letter of support from Alderman Ramirez Rosa. Questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? You might.
So moved by Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections?
Sorry,
to-
Alderman Tunney.
Yes, Anna?
Just confirming with Matt, was there a substitute submitted for narrative?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. I thought I seen one. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. You're always welcome, Anna. All right, so I think Alderman Cardona made the motion. Move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the item is passed. Moving on to the middle of page 12, document number 21152, T1 in the 4th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 641 through 647 East 47th Street. And the change request from B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to B13 Neighborhood Shopping District. And we have Matt Ali again. Matt.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Again, for the record, Matthew Alley with Shane Banks on behalf of the applicant, Two Fish Crab Shack Company. The applicant is a restaurant currently operating in a 1-story commercial building located at 641 to 643 East 47th Street. The applicant is acquiring the adjacent property at 647 East 47th in order to redevelop the collective property as a 5-story mixed-use building to be 64 feet in height with 3 ground floor commercial spaces and 8 dwelling units on the upper floors, 2 dwelling units per floor, as well as 11 off-street parking spaces. The applicant restaurant, Two Fish Crab Shack, will continue to operate in one of the new and larger commercial spaces. The property is currently zoned B1-1, and in order to facilitate the development, the project requires the proposed zoning change to B1-3, which allows for a larger bulk and density at the property. Prior to filing this application, the project team engaged Alderman Sophia King, who has indicated that Two Fish has been a community success story, and we support this effort to increase the sustainability of this business. We've submitted Alderman King's letter of support to the committee for your review. We've also discussed the proposed project with the immediately adjacent neighbor to the west, who was receptive to the plans and expressed no objections or concerns. To the east is a parking lot, and we have not received any objections or concerns from this neighbor either. We now request the committee's favorable consideration, and we welcome any questions from committee members.
Thank you, Matt. Questions, comments? Obviously, so this Two Fish Crab Shack currently does business on the site, right, Matt?
Correct, yes.
And then they're going to take the whole building down and build a new building is what this proposal is about?
That's correct. It's currently a 1-story building. And I think the business will not only move into a larger and newer space, but certainly a facelift for the community.
I'm sure it's going to be a welcome addition to 47th Street and the 4th Ward. As a restaurateur, were they going to be out of business for a couple of years? Or are they going to do, is this going to take a while?
That I do not know. They largely do a lot of catering, so that they could operate temporarily elsewhere. I can certainly locate that.
No, it's just my own selfish interest on it.
Sure, understood.
You know, it's a big investment. Obviously, they own the land, which is great, but the interruption is costly also. All right, do we have a representative from Prentice is here from the fourth ward, I hear?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So we are in support of this project. This has been a successful business over the last couple of years in the community. I believe the business will be in operation while they're expanding their current facility. That was my understanding. So they're not going out of business, but they will be expanding that facility with these upgrades. So this zoning change is necessary, as the attorney said, to facilitate the expansion of that site. And we look forward to that completion in the near future.
Thank you, Curtis, for elaborating on the point that I mentioned. All right. Questions, comments, committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, bottom of page 12, document number 21171, T1 in the 35th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3545 West Belmont Avenue. And the change request from B31 Community Shopping District to B23 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. And we have Dan Lauer on the call in 35.
Hello, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This is 3545 West Belmont. It's number 21171T1. Casimir Dojka, that's spelled D-O-J-K-A, is the owner. It's currently a vacant lot. The proposal is to go from B31 to B23 to construct a mixed-use building. There'll be retail space and then 4 dwelling units. There'll be 3 garage parking spaces. We're dispensing with the 4 dwelling units, dispensing with 1 off-street parking space under the equitable transit served location rules 1703-0308. We're 1,160 feet to the Kimball and Belmont Blue Line entrance. Ward 35 and Mr. Billy Drew held a community meeting for us in August, and we have a letter of support from Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa.
And we do have a letter. We received it from Carlos Ramirez Rosa. And any questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? That would be Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right. Are we going to defer the next item? Okay, well, next item we're going to defer based on the Alderman. Okay, so I'll read it into the record, document number 21170 T1 in the 25th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 2334 through 2336 South Point Avenue. And the change request from RS3 Residential Single Unit Detached House District to B23 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. At the request of Alderman Cicho Lopez, I need a motion to defer this item. Can I get a motion?
Move to defer, Chairman. Alderman
That is
Wagasback.
Alderman Wagasback moves to defer this item. Any objections to that? Hearing none, this item is deferred. Mr. Lauer, you were aware of that? That's not a surprise to you?
Yes, I was, Mr. Chairman, and I think it's going to be deferred, please, to a date certain.
All right. Okay, keep us in the loop.
Okay, thank you.
All right, middle of page 13, document number 21174, 35th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. This common address is 3959 West Fullerton Avenue, and the change request from B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to B31 Community Shopping District. We have Mark Kupiak. Mark? Mr. Kupiak? Mark?
Yes, Alderman, I'm on now. Can you hear me?
All right.
I'm sorry,
Let's
they
get,
did not have me as a panelist. I
well,
apologize.
we won't dispute that with you, but you need to raise your profile here.
Thank you, thank you. Alderman, this is number 21174. My name is Mark.
Hold on, Mark. Can
Yeah.
you change your screen? We're only seeing the top of your forehead.
All right, well, I'll just move my camera.
There you go.
Is
Okay.
that better here? All right.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Now, let's start over. My name is Mark Kupiak. I'm an attorney, represent the applicant in this case. Application number 21174 for the property of 3959 West Fullerton Avenue in the 35th Ward. And the property currently is improved with an existing gas station, an operating gas station, a gas station with an auto repair business. And we come before you asking for a zoning change. And the reason for the zoning change is the applicant would like to build a small rear addition to the existing building, remodel the building, discontinue the auto repair business, and then use the remodeled building for a mini mart convenience store. We've communicated with the Alderman's office with respect to the plan, the purpose, and the need for the zoning change, and asked for his support. And I do believe that you have a letter from the Alderman.
All right. We do have a letter of support from Carlos Rosa. So let me get down into what actually is happening. So right now you have a gas station.
Well, it's a gas station with an auto repair business in the operating out of the principal gas station building.
Okay. And you're going to, obviously a mini mart, but what else besides a mini mart will be on the site?
They plan to discontinue the gas station business and then use the principal building, build a small rear addition, remodel the building, and then use the building for a mini mart or convenience store, whichever term you propose.
Okay. So there'll be no gas station and no auto repair, and this will be just a little mini market, a retail shop.
No, I misspoke. An existing gas station, the gas station would continue. The gas station's operating now, the gas station would continue. They would discontinue just the auto repair business and use that portion of the building for a mini mart convenience store.
Okay,
in
that's pretty,
connection with the gas station.
okay, that makes sense. Now, Anna, you're on this call on this item? Or somebody from zoning?
Yes, Chairman, yes, I'm here.
Okay, so you've heard the testimony, the Alderman's support. Does all this fit into a B31?
Yes, Chairman, currently it's a B1, which would restrict that, but yes, the B31.
Allows a
will allow
gas
this.
station, allows a gas.
Yes, it's an existing gas station to continue, so they're not expanding the use. So that is to remain. They're only interior alterations to the existing auto repair shop and then adding an extension to that.
Okay, all right, I just seems it seemed to be modest zoning for the activity, that's what I was questioning.
Mr. Chairman, Mark Kupiak, can I just explain a little bit further?
A little bit.
Actually, I should have in the beginning. The twist here, and the reason that we need the zoning change is that despite the fact this is an existing licensed gas station, it sits in a B1 district. The zoning code actually requires a gas station to be in a B3 district. So right now in the B1 district, I'm not sure why it's a B1 when it was down zone, but it's technically non-conforming. So we want to rezone it to a B3 where it is allowed as a gas station so that we could expand it and build that addition.
Okay. All right, enough said on it. Okay, I appreciate it. Clarifications. Any other questions, comments, committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Alderman Kappelman so moves.
Alderman Kappelman makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right, moving on to the bottom of page 13, document number 21147, 30th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3457 through 59 North Milwaukee Avenue. Then the change request from C11 Neighborhood Commercial District to B22 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Mark Kupiak again on this item.
Mr. Chairman, name is Mark Kupiak. I'm the attorney for the applicant. This property 3457-59 North Milwaukee corner property, corner of Milwaukee and Keeler. And this particular property was the historic site of Yanina's Bar and Banquet Hall. I think actually the applicant may have demolished it, but that was the last use of the subject property. The plan is for a new building. The new building would have 7 dwelling units. At the Alderman's request, we did do a community meeting, and it was a virtual meeting via Zoom, and it was done with mailed notice to the neighbors. We had the meeting, a positive meeting. Neighbors we spoke to are actually happy to get rid of the old bar and banquet hall, and I'm not aware of any objectors. And with that, we followed up with the Alderman and his staff, and I see the Alderman's on the call. I would defer to the Alderman.
All right, thanks, Mark. Vice Chair Raboyes.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct. A community meeting was held on the subject matter before you, and there were no constituents opposing the project. I therefore ask for a favorable vote on the matter before you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Any questions for the Alderman or the applicant? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Move to pass, Chairman.
Alderman Wagisback makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed. Top of page 14, document number 21175, 26th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 2106 through 2108 North Sawyer Avenue. The change request from an RS3 residential single unit detached house district to an RM 4.5 residential multi-unit district. Again, we have Mark Kupiec on this item in 26.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Mark Kupiec. I represent the applicant Elio Deruta for this project 210608 North Sawyer. Property is improved with a nice 3-story brick building. When Elio bought this building many years ago, the building had a basement apartment for this probably original 6-unit building with this basement apartment for a total of 7 units, and has used that basement apartment, rented it out. More recently, the city advised him that there was no permit record for that basement apartment. And speaking with his architect, given the fact that we got 6 other units on site, we needed a zoning change in order for him to keep and maintain the basement apartment. So with that, Elio had met with the Alderman to discuss the problem and situation because he is in housing court, and we followed up with the Alderman and staff asking for his support, and I believe that you have a letter from him.
We do have a letter of support from Alderman Maldonado. Questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right, now we're going to take a deferral on this one. Is that right? Okay, so I'll read it into the record. We're taking a deferral on item number 21141 T1 in the 25th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 1600 South Laughlin Avenue, and the change request from an M12 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District and M13 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to a B25 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. Let's see. Can I get a motion? Alderman Kappelman makes a motion to defer this item. Any objections to that? Hearing none, this item will be deferred. Mr. Kupiec, you've been aware of that. That's not a surprise to you?
Alderman, I was aware, yes.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Bottom of page 14. Document number 21118 T1 in the 33rd Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 2924 West Nelson, and the change request from RS3 Residential Single Unit Detached House District to an RM5 Residential Multi-Unit District. We have Joseph Martin on this.
Good afternoon.
33. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman Tunney and committee members. For the record, my name is Joseph Martin. I'm the owner of the property located at 2924 West Nelson. I am seeking a zoning change from RS3 to RM5. The purpose of this change is for a completion of a rooftop deck to include the proposed rooftop stair enclosure addition, along with a new roof deck and a rooftop pergola over an existing 4-story, 3-dwelling unit residential building. I have received a letter of support from the 33rd Ward for this change. I have also agreed to downzone the property back to RS3 after the project is complete. I'm happy to address any questions or concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Any questions, concerns? We do have a letter of support from Alderman Rodriguez Sanchez. Can I get a motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Alderman Kappelman so moves.
Kappelman makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. All right, top of page 15. Document number 21134, T1 in the 32nd Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. This common address, 1905 West Fullerton Avenue, and the change request from B22 Neighborhood Mixed Use District to B22 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. So it's probably obviously a T1 change. We have Corinne O'Hara.
That's correct. Hi, Alderman.
Good
Yes.
afternoon.
This is a property. I am the attorney and also one of the shareholders of Correct Builders, who is the owner. That was recently purchased. The original owner of the property had intended to renovate a single family that had previously been there. However, he gutted it, left it open, and it had to be demolished. So that has been done. The deterioration of the building was so great that none of the bricks could even be salvaged. We went to a number of salvagers and nobody could even reuse any of the bricks. Additionally, the property in question is on Fullerton, just directly across the street from the Chick-fil-A, the Panera, that's right there. This is not an area that single-family houses really should go in. So we're requesting that the project just be changed from a single-family home to a 2-unit residential and a 1 commercial unit, which is totally within the B22 zoning. And we also have the support of Alderman Wagenspack's office. Everything went to all of the communities. Nobody objected. We've spoken to the neighbors and have not received any objections. One neighbor actually called me directly and just asked about the project.
All right, thank you. Alderman Wagasback.
That's correct. We did send our support as well. This one was rezoned back a year ago, and unfortunately, the owner did not move forward on it as we expected. The whole lot is kind of destroyed right now. Ms. O'Hara is filing this amendment to it, and we're hoping to get moving forward on it to kind of bring that state of the property back to what it should be on the block there. So I'd just ask the committee's favorable vote on this item.
Thank you, Scott. Any questions for the applicant or the alderman? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move, Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed. Middle of page 15. Thank you. Document number 21148 T1 in the 31st Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 2453 North Cicero. And the change request B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to C21 Motor Vehicle Related Commercial District. And we have Dean Marigus. Mr. Marigus. You got him or no?
Here.
Mr. Chairman, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, Dean. Let's
Thank you.
proceed.
Thank you very much. My name is Dean T. Marigus of the law firm of Marigus and Marigus, and we represent the applicant in this matter. The file number is 21148 T1. This is a zoning change from B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to a C21 Motor Vehicle Related Commercial District. We're doing this zoning change in order to establish a new antique auto storage and car wrapping facility. Car wrapping is the customized application of vinyl graphics directly on a vehicle. We've been working with Alderman Cardona and the community. The Alderman held a special community meeting on this in which there were no objections. We also sent notice to the community and we've had no objections. And I also submitted Alderman Cardona's letter of support to the committee, and I have been assured that that was received. I will take any questions from the committee.
Thank you. We have Alderman Cardona on the call, in addition to his letter of support. But Felix, you want to talk on this one?
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, my colleagues. I'm here asking for your favorable support on this car wrapping auto storage antique. It's right now it's currently a vacant property, which, you know, it's getting a vacancy. There's no property taxes or anything getting out of it. It's something that would be good for the neighborhood. We had a community meeting. No one came, no one went against it. We haven't received any calls. It was all supported. We had our community meeting by the neighbors that did come, and I'm looking for your support on passing the zoning matter.
Great. Any questions, comments for the applicant? Just a quick one, Felix. Obviously, car wrapping is an interesting application. How many is it in addition? Is it storage and wrapping, or how big of this looks like? It could have been an old. What was the existing condition? Was that a car related on Cicero to begin with?
Yes. So it's a existing building that used to be with a dealership, those used car dealerships. So it's going to be used to basically store antiques, but also do car wrapping.
Oh, well, it's interesting. Yeah, interesting concept. And so antique storage and car wrapping. Well,
yeah, because over here on the north side, we have a lot of people that have antique cars that are looking for storage places and so forth. So it'd be good for the neighborhood and especially the car wrapping business as well.
Right. Interesting idea. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Move to pass, Chairman, Alderman Wagisbeck.
Alderman Wagisbeck makes that motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, the item is passed.
Thank you, Mr.
Dean.
Chairman. Thank you, Alderman.
Yep. All right. Next item, we're going to defer at the request of Alderman Talaferro in 29. I'll read it into the record. Document number 21137, 29th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 6214 West North Avenue. And the change request, B11 Neighborhood Shopping District to B31 Community Shopping District. Alderman Cardona makes a motion to defer this item. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item will be deferred. Mr. Marigus, you were aware that was going to be deferred, correct?
Yes, we were aware of that.
All right, we'll see you later on that one. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Top of page 16, document number 21140T1. In the 29th Ward, ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 5852 through 5858 West Augusta Boulevard. Change request from an RS3 residential single unit detached house district to a B23 neighborhood mixed use district. Again, we have Dean, T as in Tom, Marigus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We share a name. The law firm of Marigus and Marigus, representing the applicant Verestein Wardlaw, case number 21140T1. The zoning changes from an RS3 residential single unit detached house district to B23 Neighborhood Mixed Use District. The purpose is to receive the proper licenses from all government agencies, including DCFS, to operate an educational facility and a community center. We have worked very diligently with the client and the community. We've worked very closely with Alderman Taliaferro, and we've sent out notices and have heard no objections at all over the past few months. We have the letter from the Alderman to you, Mr. Chairman, that he is approving of this zoning change.
Dean, we have received a letter of support from Alderman Taliaferro. Any questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, Alderman Cardona makes a motion, move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right. Now we're going to document number 21138 in the 21st Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. This common address is 320 West 83rd Street, and the change request from M11 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District, M21 Light Industry District. Again, we have Dean Marigus on this call.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This is Dean Marigus, the law firm of Marigus and Marigus, representing the applicant, case number 21138 in the 21st Ward. This change request is from an M11 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to an M21 Light Industry District to establish a cannabis infuser business use. We have worked extensively with Alderman Brookins and have sent out notices on this matter, and we have heard no objections from anyone in the community during this period of time. We'll gladly take any questions.
Thank you, Dean. We have received a letter from Alderman Brookins on this item. Any questions from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
That would be my Vice Chair Roboyas makes the motion. Any objections? No objections. This item is passed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
All right, next, bottom of page 16, document number 21155T1 in the 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 1356 through 66 West Lake Street. And the change request from M23 Light Industry District to a DS3 Downtown Service District. And we have Jordan Matthias. Matt, yes? Matt, yes. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
should know better, Jordan. I just call you by your first name, so. All right.
Always good. Good to see you, Chairman. This is the client is Ephemeral Solutions. They're seeking a change. They are a tattoo studio. They are appointment only. They will be making no modifications to the building. This is required change so that they can create this tattoo studio. There's 9 booths, 20 artists. They have a 5-year lease with a 5-year option. And I appreciate your consideration. We met with all the neighborhood groups, and I believe there's a letter of support from Alderman Burnett associated.
Jordan, I think we do have a letter of support from Alderman Burnett. I don't know if Walter, are you still on the line?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right.
I'm here.
1356 West Lake. The tattoo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're in full support of. They met with all the community organizations. They don't have a problem with it. You know, I guess tattoos are so popular, everybody's getting them, you know. So we support it, the community support it. We ask for the committee support. Thank you.
All right. Any questions, comments on this application? Can I get a motion to move
Chairman.
to? Oh, who would that be?
Anna Robles from zoning.
Anna, yes?
Yes, Anna Robles for the record. I just wanted to confirm the property sits within the industrial corridor, and I reached out to NOAA to confirm if this property, this request required any type of plan commission approval. I did discuss it earlier in the month, but I didn't get an answer, so I'm just confirming that with him before it's passed. And I sent him a text, and he's checking it.
All right.
Well, let us know.
Yeah.
Shall we Let me just hold on a second in the interest of time. Let me just see if I just.
Chairman, to confirm, Noah has messaged me that it has not gone in front of the Plan Commission as of yet. And Mr. Matthias, I'm not sure if you met with one of his regional planners.
No, we were asked for information. We provided everything, I think, 2 weeks ago, but nobody's responded. I did not believe this needed to go before the planning, but this is the first time hearing of it.
Yeah, you provided 2 weeks ago information to Noah or to a regional planner?
To Noah.
Yeah, so Noah is aware that it requires Plan Commission review and ask for that information from you. So we'll have to go in front of the Chicago Plan Commission.
Okay.
Okay, so did Anna explain that to him? Okay, so I guess your application was received about the 13th of the month and didn't get enough time to be on the Plan Commission because it's required to go to Plan Commission Industrial Corridor. So we're gonna have to defer this 1 month.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry to bring that news to you. All right, so I'm gonna ask for a motion to defer this item based on the planning department's recommendation that this has to go to Plan Commission as it's an industrial corridor. Can I get a motion to defer the item?
So moved by Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion to move to defer this item. Any objections to the motion besides Jordan? No? No. All right. Hearing none, this item will be deferred and we'll try to get it a quick turnaround for the business because I know time is money also. All right. Next item is at top of page 17. Document number 21151 T1 in the fourth ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 4644 through 4658 South Drexel Boulevard, also known as 832 through 850 East 47th Street. And the change request from an RM5 residential multi-unit district to B11 neighborhood shopping district. We have Chris Leach on the call.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the Committee on Zoning, Landmarks and Building Standards. My name is Chris Leach. I'm an attorney with the law offices of Ackerman LLP, located at 71 South Wacker Drive. I'm appearing this afternoon on behalf of the applicant, Chicago IL 4644-4658 South Drexel LLC, in connection with the proposed Type 1 zoning amendment for the property located at 4644-4658 South Drexel Boulevard. The subject property is located in the fourth ward at the northwest corner of South Drexel Boulevard and East 47th Street, and contains a site area just over 52,000 square feet and is improved with an existing one-story commercial building, 14 feet in height and containing approximately 12,000 square feet of floor area and a surface parking lot with 83 parking spaces. The applicant seeks a zoning change from the RM-5 residential multi-unit district to the B1-1 neighborhood shopping district to allow the reuse of the existing commercial building to be converted into a new medical clinic. Although the amendment does not call for any changes to the footprint of the existing building, if approved, the applicant does plan to renovate the interior of the building for its reuse as a medical clinic. The 83 parking spaces will provide ample parking for its customers. The parking lot will be used, the parking lot will utilize the existing curb cut on South Drexel Boulevard and the existing entrance off the north-south public alley that runs behind the subject property. The applicant has met with Alderwoman King concerning the proposed zoning amendment and the reuse of the existing building and has obtained a letter of support from Alderwoman King. And we are agreeable to having the property a down zone back to the RM5 once the medical clinic has been licensed and open for operation. I'm happy to answer any questions that the chairman or the committee may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. I think Prentice is here from the 4th Ward. Would you like to talk on this one? We have received a letter of support, right, Sam? All right. We do have a letter of support from Alderwoman King. Can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed.
Thank you very much.
All right, middle of page 17. Document number 21086. In the 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on July 20th of 2022. Common address is 301 through 323 South Green Street. Also 815 through 823 West Jackson. The change request from DS3 Downtown Service District to DX7 Downtown Mixed Use District, and then to Residential Plan Development. We have Jack George on the call. Mr. George.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Jack George. I'm an attorney with offices at 71 South Wacker. I'm a member of the Ackerman Law Firm. I'm appearing this afternoon on behalf of the applicant 301 South Green LLC in connection with the Plan Development Zoning Amendment. This matter, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, is in the 27th Ward. As you indicated, the address is 301 to 321 South Green and 815 to 823 on Jackson. Before going into the details on this project, I would ask that this matter was before the Chicago Plan Commission on October the 20th of 2022, and I would respectfully request that the report of proceedings and the documents and reports that were part of that record be incorporated into and be made a part of the record of the proceedings before you today.
All right, Alderman Cardona moves to incorporate the records from the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the items or the records are incorporated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant is seeking to amend the zoning of the subject property from DS3 Downtown Service District to DX7 Downtown Mixed Use District, and then to a residential plan development. Our site is 31,205 feet. We propose to erect a 36-story building, which would be 404 feet tall and have 362 residential units, 256 bicycle parking spaces, 128 accessory vehicle spaces, and 2 loading berths. The applicant is using an FAR of 4.5 that we're obtaining through the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund bonus program for a maximum of 11.5 for this development. The proposed development is in compliance with the West Loop design guidelines and the Central Area Action Plan, as well as being in compliance with the Chicago Sustainable Development Ordinance and the stormwater policies of the City of Chicago Department of Planning. The construction of this project is going to be approximately $166 million. Will create 300 to 400 temporary construction jobs and 25 permanent jobs. Notably, the applicant is satisfying our ARO obligation of this proposed development by providing all 73 required ARO units on the site. In connection with the 4.5 FAR bonus that the applicant is paying $3,257,790.40 into the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund bonus program. And with this project will generate approximately $2 million annually in real estate taxes. The applicant is also committed to achieving MBE, WBE, and citizen requirements participation goals of 26, 6, and 6%. This project, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, was vetted quite a bit in the community. We had extensive community and meetings. We had 4 meetings with community groups. We had one big community group that the alderman asked us to have. And in addition to that, this matter was also the subject of the design review committee that has now been established by the Department of Planning and Development. We had 4 different meetings with them with respect to this project. All of the changes that they had suggested were incorporated into the plan development that's before you today. This was before, as I said, Alderman Burnett's community meetings. It was when we were before the Plan Commission. Alderman Burnett did speak in favor of it. And so at this time, I would ask for a favorable vote in favor of this project. And I stand ready to answer any questions that you, Mr. Chairman, or any of the committee members might have concerning our project.
Thank you, Mr. George. Alderman Burnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. As the councilor said, we did have him to go to 4 community organizations to get their approval. We did have a community meeting. There were some questions and concerns at the community meeting. We encouraged the developer to go meet with the condo associations that are adjacent to the property to work out some of those issues. As far as I know, there's no challenges. I asked for the committee support. All of the organizations support this, except maybe one. They still have an issue, but all the other organizations support it. As for the committee support. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. I know, I think this came up in Plan Commission, Mr. George. You mentioned the Design Review Committee, which is relatively new to the Plan Commission. What were some of the changes that transpired over the discussion?
Sure. They were concerned. Sure, they were concerned with the podium in the building. They wanted the original design had a different design, a sleeker design that went from the ground all the way up. They wanted the podium to be brought down, which we did, and we brought the whole building down to the ground level so that it looks more sleeker and better. They had some concern about the fabric of the building a little bit. Those were changed. Along Green Street, we made some changes along Green Street so that would be more pedestrian friendly. The building's been set back off of Green Street and also off of Jackson Street. And as Alderman Burnett just indicated, one of the concerns from the community, the condominium association at 812 Van Buren, they were concerned about a 4-way stop intersection at Green and Van Buren, and that's been accomplished through the alderman's effort. An ordinance was passed allowing for a 4-way stop sign intersection, and that will go in prior to the time that this development is put up. But it was a good experience dealing with the design committee. They had a number of good ideas when the various architects on that committee all weighed in, those who were in attendance, and gave their opinions. And as with any development like this, it was favorable and helpful to have input from people from DPD as well as the independent architects that were on that design committee. And so I think what you have before you today resembles the effect of all of the input from these different people. And so I think it's a better project because of that, and we ask for your full support.
Thank you, Jack. All right, any questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So moved.
That was my Vice Chair Reboyas. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed as revised.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
All right, bottom of page 17, document number 21143, T1 in the 24th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 3413 West Harrison Street. And the change request from M13 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district. We have Agnes Pletka.
I'm sorry, before Agnes speaks, Chairman, I apologize. I was gone for a second. There was another call. Did the matter pass that you wanted me to speak? I see you have me unmuted for a second.
Yeah, no, that was the one on Drexel. We had a letter. I knew you might have been on the call, but we did receive correspondence to the Alderwoman's support on that. Is that?
Yes, sir. Just wanted to confirm we are in support. I apologize for interruption.
Yeah, and it did pass. Thank you.
Okay, great.
All right, Agnes, you want to go in the 24th Ward, please?
Yes, sounds good. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Agnes Black. I'm an attorney with law firm of Jaffe and Berlin, located in 111 West Washington, Chicago. And I'm here today on behalf of the applicant and the owner of the subject property at 3413 West Harrison Street, Arturo Vargas of Vargas Properties LLC. And very simply, this property is currently improved with a two-story residential building, which is located on a residential block in a leftover M1-3 district. The building has 3 existing dwelling units, including an older apartment in the basement. And this building is actually a perfect example of a naturally occurring affordable housing. The owner applied for a permit to rehab the building, and at that time, he learned that the basement unit was never established with a proper permit. So in order to comply with the minimum lot area per unit requirements and to obtain that permit for the rehab, we are asking for this proposed zoning change from the existing M1-2 limited manufacturing business park district to the proposed RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district. There are no changes to the existing height or to the floor area. Everything is as existing. It's just an interior rehab with legalizing an existing older basement apartment. And we have worked with Alderwoman Scott's office to explain this proposed zoning change and the project, and we obtained her support. I hope that you have that letter of support, which I sent to the committee prior to the hearing, and we are asking today for your favorable consideration as well.
We have a letter of support from Alderwoman Scott. The only question I have is, so we have total number of units on this?
Yeah, total number of units is 3, including the basement unit.
And then do we have any parking in this thing?
We have parking, 3 parking spaces in the rear, yes.
Okay, all righty. As I said, we have a letter of support from Alderwoman Scott. Any questions, comments from committee members? Hearing none, can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Alderman Kappelman moves.
Alderman Kappelman makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed.
Thank you so much.
Now we're going to document number, top of page 18. Document number 21165, 22nd Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address is 2549 South Hamlin. And the change request from an RT4 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district to a B22 neighborhood mixed use district. Do we have Rolando on this? Yes.
You do, Mr. Chairman.
Rolando Acosta on this item. Rolando.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Rolando Acosta here on behalf of the applicant, Oscar Martinez. This property is on the east side of Hamlin. It is just adjacent to the 26th Street Business District, to the rear of that district. It was previously had a beauty parlor on the site. During COVID, the operator of the beauty parlor closed down due to those conditions. Unfortunately, she also didn't maintain her business license in place. Accordingly, her grandfathering of the business expired, and this zoning change is necessitated so she can relicense the business and open it once again. We have discussed this with Alderman Rodriguez. He is in support and submitted a letter to that effect. I believe he also may be on the call. I am happy to answer any questions the committee may have.
Thank you, Rolando. Alderman Rodriguez, are you on the call for this one in 22?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we're good with this reestablishment?
We're good.
All righty. You heard it from the alderman and the applicant and the community. So can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderman Cardona makes the motion. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Middle of page 18, document number 21157, T1 in the 19th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address is 9517 through 9535 Southwestern. And the change request, B12 Neighborhood Shopping District to B32 Community Shopping District. We have Janet Stengel, please.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I believe we have a presentation as well. I'm not sure if it's up. I can't see it at the moment.
I didn't get it.
We don't have it. but I think we can do without it.
Okay, sounds great. Janet Stengel, attorney with Daspin and Ament, representing the applicant at the legal offices at 300 South Wacker Drive in Chicago. Also present with us is Kelly McAllister, who is the manager of the commercial leasing department of the applicant, and Steve Panko, who is the property owner. The applicant is Medical Management International Incorporated, which does business as Banfield Pet Hospital. Banfield seeks approval of a type 1 rezoning application, which is a voluntary type 1, for a change in zoning from a B12 neighborhood shopping district through a B32 community shopping district, which will allow Banfield to operate a veterinary clinic at the property. The property is located in a shopping center. The shopping center has multiple tenants, including Banfield's future premises. The shopping center currently exists as one zoning lot. The applicant proposes to split the zoning lot into 2 zoning lots so that the portion of the zoning lot with Banfield will be changed to the B32 zoning district, and the portion of the zoning lot fronting 95th will remain a B12 neighborhood shopping district. This will allow Banfield to operate the veterinary use in the south portion of one of the buildings on the lot. And there is adequate parking in the new zoning lot, about 30 spaces to accommodate the new zoning lot. Both lots will remain compliant with zoning requirements as well. Banfield has received Alderman O'Shea's support from the 19th Ward. We have a letter of support for this application. We appreciate the Alderman office's time and support and assistance in moving this forward. We met with the local zoning advisory committee on this application to discuss the application, and we received no objections. So we ask for the chairman and the committee's support on this application.
We have received a letter of support from Alderman O'Shea. Are there any questions from committee members? If not, can I get a motion move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? That would be Alderwoman Haddon makes the motion. Any objection to her motion? Hearing none, the item is passed. Thank you
Thank you,
very
Chairman.
much. Okay, now we're on to top of page 19, document number 21111 T1 in the 11th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022, and the common address is 928 West 37th Place. The change request from M12 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to an RT 3.5 residential 2-flat townhouse and multi-unit district. Okay, we have Ning Wei or
Yes.
Hong. Was it?
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you, Chairman. Good
Okay,
afternoon.
And who are you for the record? Just so I probably mispronounced.
Yes, my name is Ning Wei, and this is my
Okay.
husband, Hang Hu. We're the owner. Yeah, we're the
Great.
owner of the 928 West 37th Street, place. Good afternoon, Chairman, and the members of the
afternoon.
committee. As I introduce myself, my name is Ning Wei Grace, and this is my husband, Hang Hu Vincent. We're the owner of the 928 West 37th Place. We're applying for zoning our home from M1-2 Limited Manufacturing Business Park District to the RT 3.5 Residential 2-flat Townhouse and Multi-Unit District, because this will allow us to put a building permit with as-built plan to legalize an existing 2-dwelling unit residential building. We purchased our home more than 9 years ago with a zoning certificate of 2-dwelling unit. This year, we listed on the market to sell it. It changed to 1. So we have been working closely with the staff from the zoning department, especially with Mrs. Rubles. She's great and really helpful in the zoning amendment application. We also have been working closely with the 11th Ward Alderman's office to actively engaging voices from our neighborhood. We had a great meeting on the August 29th, which led to a letter of support from the Alderwoman, Ms. Lee. Right now, we have moved the state as planned for a career opportunity. Our house has been vacant and the buyer has been waiting. We're seeking your favorable decision. Thank you.
All right. We do have a letter of support from Alderwoman Lee. And So unfortunately, you have to be here because if it was certificated for 2, it should be there, but we're here today to make it right for you moving forward. So the Alderman is for it. Are there questions from committee members? If not, can I get a motion to move do pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So
That would- My Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, we are middle of page 19, document number 21112, 10th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21 of 2022. Common address is 8800 South Mackinac. Change request from RS2 residential single unit detached house district to C11 neighborhood commercial district. We have Stephen Brown.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the committee. Stephen Brown, on behalf of Mackinac Holdings LLC. I'm actually I'm an attorney, but I'm not just the attorney. I'm also a part owner of the property. So we're coming here, we're asking for a change from RS2. It's currently a 2-story multi-unit residential building with 3 units. And we're seeking a change to C11 to convert the first floor to a clinical massage school, and then the second floor would be a dwelling unit. Also, sorry, I didn't tell you, currently there's a 2-car garage, which we plan on keeping. The overall project is going to be a renovation. We're not going to change the structure itself. We're just going to modify the interior for this use. We've got a letter from the zoning administrator stating that this is the appropriate zoning for the use we're seeking. And we've also got a letter of support from Alderwoman Garza's office.
Okay. Any questions, comments from committee members? For the record, we did receive a letter of support from Alderwoman Sadlowski Garza. Do we have any questions from committee members? Hearing none. Alderman Wagsback makes motion to pass. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Chairman.
All right, bottom of page 19, document number 21169 in the 9th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. Common address 8857 South State Street, and the change request from an RS2 residential single unit detached house district to a B11 neighborhood shopping district. And we have Charles Holly.
That is correct, Charles Holly. Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the committee. This is our request pursuant to our application to change the zoning for the property located at 8857 South State Street from RS2 to B11 neighborhood shopping district. In particular, we want to rezone the property to allow for professional office suites on in the first floor space. Presently, the property is a 2-unit property with residential on the second floor, 1-unit residential on the second floor, and a space that up until my clients had bought the property about 1.5 years ago contained a storefront church, which was and that use was consistent with the current zoning. My clients now seek to have the zoning revised to allow for the use of professional office suites on the first floor. As you see in Exhibit A, that's the current rendering of the building, both with the extensive repairs and work that's been done by the owners already. And actually, Jessica Greer, one of the owners, is also available with us and would like to make a brief statement if we could, Mr. Chairman.
All right. So you're finished with the presentation other than asking Ms. Greer to say a few words?
And just, again, we've got a couple other exhibits. One is Exhibit B, which shows the rendering of the proposed offices on the first floor. And then Exhibit C, which shows a current view of the parking. We just want to make sure that people are aware that there's parking available on the street. However, for this particular property, there are 4 parking spaces in the rear, 1 for the second floor apartment, and then 1 for each of the 3 proposed professional suites on the first suite.
Okay. All right. Ms. Greer, you want to say a few words? You need to unmute yourself, Ms. Greer. Unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can. Would you proceed, please?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Jessica Greer, owner of the property listed at 8857 South State Street, which is located in the 9th Ward. We have wonderful plans for this property in which we acquired in 2021 to add to our family history of entrepreneurship. Last month, my husband and I suggested a community meeting with those neighbors who received a rezoning letter to explain our plans in detail and to discuss this process. On September 20th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m., we were able to meet 12 of our close neighbors at the daycare business located right next door. We are here to work with our neighbors to create positive solutions for change which is what our community needs to propel economic empowerment amongst our seasoned business leaders. The rehab development of this property will create an uptick in property value, enhance the curbside appeal, and provide professional services that the community can greatly benefit from. These are services that will be right here in the community in a beautiful and comfortable, safe space. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur that in fact grew up just a short distance away from the property, watching my granddad and father build the largest Black home furniture store in the country, which was Seaway Furniture that sustained for 40 plus years. My husband and I are deeply passionate about entrepreneurship. We are professionals in our field and dream of building wealth right here in our community. I'd like to thank the community and support from our aldermen and the Department of Zoning for their support throughout this process. Thank you.
And Mr. Chair, finally, I would like to note that we do have a letter of support from Alderman Beal that I believe you should have a copy of as well.
I think Alderman Beal's on the call, I believe.
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Proceed, please.
All right. Well, before I proceed, Mr. Chairman, I just have a couple of questions. Because my office did receive some calls and a few residents came in, and I was just curious, if we met with all those residents in that immediate area. I have about a dozen signatures on a petition in opposition. Can you explain, why am I getting opposition if we've met with the residents in that particular area?
Sure, we did meet with the residents, and Ms. Greer was there for that meeting as well. Some of them were concerned about just previous instances that had happened, not in this building, but in around the neighborhood, and were just concerned about just generally traffic and sort of unwarranted or unlicensed businesses that had occurred within a block or two of this location. And we assured them that, and as part of the process, that we were going through the proper channels to address any concerns they have, and in fact show that this business is both proper and has gone through the proper procedures in order to be approved. There's no acquiring the property and then engaging in some sort of use that was not warranted. We attempted to resolve those issues and resolve those concerns. Again, Ms. Greer can speak to that a little bit more if she'd like to. But we certainly have had those conversations with people. And in fact, I believe there's also a letter of support that we got from one gentleman, Mr. Jones, that was just emailed over to us last night, and I believe was emailed to Chairman Tunney as well.
Okay, can you address a couple of complaints in their letter about blocking the alley and doing the build out without permits? Can you address those issues as well?
There's never been an instance where there was any work done that was without permits, number one. In fact, there's a proposed build out that we have put on hold because we have drawings and everything, but obviously we're not going to be able to get the permits until this matter is resolved. So there's been no unpermitted build out or renovation that's inconsistent with the city's rules and regulations. In terms of blocking the alley, I am not aware of that in any instance, whether it was before this matter was brought to the committee or since. Again, Ms. Greer can speak to whatever measures have been taken to make sure that alleyways are kept clear and the front of the property is kept clear as well, but we're not aware of that.
Okay, Ms. Greer, are you familiar with any blocking of the alley and work being done without permits?
Yeah, so we did address that with the city of, the department, I'm sorry, with the, which office is this? Department of Buildings. I just went today downtown on Superior Street. We have the docket number. We are in the process of securing that construction permit. And the last portion of that permit is the final data review and the architectural and fire review, which is under the conditional project status. We did have a building violation. So like I said before, that was corrected, and we've been working with the Department of Buildings. I have the docket number here. And they gave today, just this morning, gave me a continuance of December 22nd to resolve this matter with no fines attached.
Okay. All right. Well, what I would like to do is, I'm in support of the project, but we have to put a few fires out in the community, and so, Mr. Chairman, I would like to move forward, but I need some assurances that you're going to meet with me in the community again, and put their fears at ease that you're going to be a good partner and that it is going to be used for professional office space and nothing other than that, and that the area will be kept clean and you'll be a good partner within that immediate community.
Oh, absolutely. And I spoke within the last week, I spoke to a few of the neighbors that I have contact information for. One of them, in fact, we spoke face to face yesterday, and I addressed some of their concerns, which a lot of them may.
Okay, you muted yourself.
No. All right.
Ms. Greer, I think we lost you.
Okay, so.
Also spoke to another neighbor last week and basically just kept the lines of communication open for any questions or concerns that they may have. We're here to be, neighborly, work with the community and provide professional services like we described.
All right. Okay. Alderman Beal, what is your recommendation? Move to pass or not?
Move to pass, Mr. Chairman.
All right, you've heard the recommendation. We have questions, comments from committee members. All right. The only thing I would say, Ms. Greer and the group, the petition is very localized. There's immediate neighbors that seem to be adjacent to that. Working with Alderman Beal, I'm sure you'll have a successful project. So
thank you very much.
Can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
All right, that was Alderman Burnett makes the motion. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed. All right, good luck to y'all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, now we're moving on to the top of page 20. We have document number 21156 in the 4th Ward. Ordinance was referred on September 21st of 2022. The common address 4731 through 59 South Cottage Grove Avenue, and the change request. RM5 residential multi-unit district to B33 community shopping district. It looks like we have Sylvia Micus on this one. And Graham?
Chairman Tunney, it's Graham Grady along with my colleague Sylvia Micus, chairman and members of the committee. My name is Graham Grady. I'm a partner.
So Graham, you heard my opening remarks.
I'm going to go as quickly as I can, Chairman.
Short and sweet. Okay, thank you. Proceed.
Right.
Okay.
The project calls for a rezoning as described by the chairman. We believe that Alderman King has in support as she has provided a letter. This project calls for a new mixed-use project by the Millhouse Development Company. We have representatives of Millhouse as well as the project architect to answer any questions that you have. This is a beautiful 3-story building which will contribute significantly to the redevelopment the Bronzeville neighborhood. Please let me know if you have any questions. We also had a community meeting, which was very successful on September 22nd. And I hope that was short enough for you, Mr. Chair.
Excellent, excellent. Just a quick question, since it is a very imposing, interesting building. What are the proposed uses for this?
Yes, the proposed uses on the first floor will be a food market, along with 13 automobile spaces, 79 bicycle spaces, and 2 loading berths. There'll be a food market there with a common seating area. Basically, I call it sort of a food court. If reminiscent of Revival or the State of Illinois building and other very successful food courts in Chicago, Nordstrom. The second floor will have an NFT gallery and an iron golf facility. The third floor will have restaurants and a number of proposed business uses. So this is a very exciting project. It's going to be a wood timber building. It will have numerous sustainability features and will be just a fantastic addition to Bronzeville and the Cottage Grove redevelopment corridor.
Really handsome, exciting project, especially for Bronzeville. So, well, anywhere, to be honest with you. We have, let's see, Alderman Villegas has his hand up. Before we ask Alderman Villegas, we do have a letter of support from Alderwoman King, but is Prentice still on this call?
Yes, Chairman, I am, and I want to speak out in support of this project. This is in collaboration with a lot of great stakeholders, such as Millhouse Development. We're happy to see this project come. We've had a lot of great projects in Bronzeville, some of which have been on this call this afternoon. And we look forward to this project being completed with your support.
All right, Alderman Villegas.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Graham, is this a first phase of something, or is it just one-off?
This is a complete standalone project. It will be developed in a single phase. The land is owned by the city of Chicago and is a part of a redevelopment project in concert with the city.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with Chairman Tunney. This is a beautiful rendering. And then, did you say NFT gallery?
Yes, non-fungible tokens. This is the new thing. This is cyber. This is Bitcoin. This is cryptocurrency. This is taking the city and the South Side to the next level.
I'm very familiar with it, and I'm glad. I just had a hearing on a crypto town hall last month, so I'm glad to see that there's an NFT gallery here. So yeah, this is a beautiful project. So congratulations.
Thank you. Also, this will return, Long Moribund property to the tax rolls. This land hasn't been paid any taxes to the city in a long time. So in addition to the real estate property taxes, there will be sales tax from the many business, and there will be a lot of construction and permanent jobs created here as well. A real shot in the arm for Cottage Grove.
Yep, and with Millhouse on this project, I know that he'll be hiring for the community. Yeah, this is an exciting project. I support this project totally. Thank you.
You've heard the presentation. Any more comments or questions, or can I entertain a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum? Alderman Villegas makes the motion, I believe, based on his commentary.
Yes, Chairman.
All right. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this item is passed.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members.
All right. Now, we are on middle of page 20, document number 21153, T1 in the second ward. Ordinance was referred to September 21 of 22. Common address 1321 through 1323 North Ashland. Change request from B32 Community Shopping District to B33 Community Shopping District. Tyler Manick on the call.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Tyler Manick of Shane Banks, Kenny and Schwartz. I'm here on behalf of SRD Holdings, which owns a property at 1319 to 1323 North Ashland. 1319 North Ashland is currently improved with a 3-story mixed-use building containing 5 dwelling units and ground floor commercial. 1321 to 1323 North Ashland is currently used as a surface parking lot for U-Haul storage with a small warehouse in the rear. This lot is currently zoned B32. The applicant seeks a type 1 zoning map amendment from a B32 to a B33. One procedural matter in preparation of today's hearing, we noticed that the type 1 zoning amendment project narrative was utilizing the measured lot lines in the survey instead of the recorded lot lines, which threw some of the numbers in the bulk table off. We submitted a new type 1 project narrative to zoning yesterday to correct that error, because I believe zoning prefers the recorded lot lines instead of the measured lot lines, which changed the density, the MLA slightly, as well as the FAR slightly. The plans are still conforming to the recorded lot lines, so no changes there or in the ordinance. But I would like to amend the application to add the substitute type 1 project narrative.
All right, Tyler, is that Anna? Do you want to opine on that before we move the substitute narrative and plans?
Yes, Chairman, Anna Robles here in zoning. I did receive the substitute narrative and an email from Tyler Manick's office letting me know that a substitute was needed.
Okay, and you're comfortable with the content of the substitute?
Yes.
Okay, all righty. All right, so Alderman Cardona moves to accept the substantive narrative and plans for the type 1 application by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the substantive narrative and plans are accepted. So continue on, Tyler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the type 1 zoning map amendment will allow the owner of the property to preserve the building at 1319 North Ashland, which is being included in this application to bring this lot into a conforming zoning district in order to allow the improvement of the surface parking lot. The zoning map amendment would allow the applicant to improve the surface parking lot at 1321 to 23 North Ashland with a 4-story mixed-use building containing 9 dwelling units and 7 indoor parking spaces. There will be ground floor commercial space included in this building. Being on Ashland, the property is a transit served location. Prior to filing the map amendment application, the owner and I met with Alderman Hopkins and the Wicker Park Committee Community Group, who after a series of meetings and then a general public meeting supported this project. I believe this committee has a letter of support from Alderman Hopkins on file.
Okay, let's hear from Alderman Hopkins.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we did successfully negotiate a slight reduction in the density for this project. It originally came in at 12 units. Currently, it's down to 9. The surface parking lot, as Councilor mentioned, is really not an active use. They do store U-Hauls and trucks on there, but it's not one of the busier locations. And it tends to attract a lot of litter, broken bottles, graffiti. It's just an undesirable surface lot. So this is a definite improvement above existing conditions. Because it is mixed use, we will have active retail on the ground floor level. I would point out that it's very close to the Blue Line station at Milwaukee and Ashland and the Triangle Park at Milwaukee, Ashland and Division. So there's a significant amount of pedestrian and foot traffic, making this a desirable use for grade level retail. And we expect that there will be an active tenant in there before too long. It is a transit development, as mentioned. Additional bike parking will be provided by the developer, and the community organization of record is on full support of this project, and so is my office. I would urge an aye vote and move approval of the substitute ordinance. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman. And for Tyler, just so I understand the subject property is 1321 through 1323 North Ashland. Why are you referring to the 19 address, 1319?
We're just bringing that into a conforming zoning lot so that they can be 2 separate zoning lots.
So with the common address, is that okay being 1321 through 1323?
The ordinance includes all 3 lots.
Okay. Anna, would you opine on that one for me, please? Should the address include 1319?
Yes, they filed 3 separate surveys. but it is a combined lot of 3 lots.
So the common address should be 1329 through 1323 that's what I'm asking. Oh, I'm sorry, 1319 through 1323.
Correct, 19, 21, and 23.
All right, okay, just want to be. All right, Tyler, you good with that, right?
Everything sounds accurate.
Alderman? Are we good,
Yes,
Brian?
thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chair. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Any other questions, comments? Can I get a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
Move to,
It was Alderman Hopkins moving on this application. Any objections to his motion? Hearing none, the item is passed.
Thank you,
With the
Mr. Chairman.
With the substantive narrative and plans. Thank you, Tyler. All right, now we're gonna go, we're gonna hear the next two together. Is that correct? What are we doing?
The last item, so the next one and the last item.
Oh, so this one's on its own.
No, they're part of one project, so.
This one?
And then this one, the bottom.
Oh, so this
bottom
is
of page
separate.
20.
This is separate.
The one in
Oh,
the middle.
all right, folks. All right, near the end, we're getting confusing. We're gonna hear the next two items together, and that will be the last item on page 20, and also the last item on 21. All right, so these will all be presented by Katie Janke Dale, but I'll read both of them into the record at the same time. Correct, staff?
Correct.
Okay, so let me start with document number 21043 in the 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on June 22nd of 22. The common address is 708 through 732 West Hubbard, 456 through 476 North Milwaukee, 461 through 483 North Milwaukee, 448 through 470 North Union, 449 through 467 North Union. This change request from M23 Light Industry District, C15 Neighborhood Commercial District, all to a DX7 Downtown Mixed Use District, and then to a residential plan development. So that is my first application. The companion application, again, bottom of page 21, document number 21049 in the 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on June 22nd of 22. This common address is 500 through 520 North Des Plaines Street, 509 North Union. The change request on this one is C15 Neighborhood Commercial District to DX7 Downtown Mixed Use District, and then to residential planned development. So these are companion. I think they're on opposite sides of the road there. So let's hear more from Katie Janke Dale.
Great. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. For the record, Katie Janke Dale from DLA Piper. And along with my colleague, Rich Clowder, we represent the applicants for these matters, which are affiliates of SHAPAC Partners. This is a preliminary matter. These applications were considered and recommended for approval at the October 20th, 2022 Plan Commission hearing, and we'd request that the transcript from that hearing be incorporated into the record today.
Okay, so Alderman Raboyes moves to incorporate both of these applications from the records of both of these from the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, proceed, Katie.
Thank you. The two PDs consist of 5 sites generally bounded by Ohio Street on the north, Des Plaines on the west, Hubbard on the south, and Hall Street on the west. Sorry, I said Des Plaines on the west, I meant on the east. The sites are separated through the middle by Grand Avenue as shown on the screen. The west sub-area of the North PD is improved with the former Salvation Army building, which is an orange rated building with the water tower on the top that will be adaptively reused as part of the project. The remaining 4 sites will be subject to future site plan approval. The overall project between the two PDs will allow for up to 2,269 units across both, of which 20% will be affordable and provided on site as a rental project. The projects combined again will involve a payment of just under 15 million into the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund. The project team presented to the Committee on Design and worked very closely with Alderman Burnett, the community, neighbors of River West, DPD, and CDOT on this project, and made significant changes to the site plan, public realm that's shown on the screen, and design guidelines as a result. I'm available for any questions, but thank you for your time and consideration.
All right. So what we're looking in this screen, Katie,
Mhm.
is phase 1 of 5 parcels.
Correct.
Okay. And this is an adaptive reuse of, was it Salvation Army, obviously? Okay, so the rest of these parcels will come back to both Plan Commission and zoning. What we are achieving today is giving them the FAR on each of these sites.
We'll come back to Plan Commission, that's correct, as well as the community, but not zoning.
Well, just the other 4 parcels will just get the review from the Plan Commission because of the previously approved FAR increase.
Correct. There are also design guidelines that are being adopted as part of these PDs that will be in place as well. And we'll, of course, prior to going to Plan Commission for those future phases, work with the aldermen and the community to, make sure that we are presenting the buildings once designed to them prior to going to those public, or that public hearing in front of the Plan Commission, or that courtesy review in front of the Plan Commission.
Okay, the other question I had, because I have seen this at Plan Commission, and it's very conceptual, so you said in your comments up to 2,000, did I hear 2,000 units potentially, and the 20% on site? Okay.
Yep.
All right, so what you said 15 million into neighborhood opportunity fund. So explain where that's a lot of money. So tell me how that's been achieved through the FAR increases and.
Correct. Both PDs are seeking a 4.5 FAR bonus. So when you layer in the math of the, you pay, 80% of the median land cost, the total all in at full build out is just shy of 15 million. And 80% of that goes to the neighborhood opportunity fund, 10% goes into landmarks, and then 10% is kept locally. We've talked quite a bit with the local community group and Alderman Burnett about some ideas they have for that 10%. But we've left some flexibility in the PD just so that with everything going on in this area, depending on when different projects can come into line or come online, we can use those local impact funds towards projects that are aligned with the community priorities at those when we're pulling those building permits and making those payments.
Okay, I'll probably have a couple more questions, but Alderman Burnett, I'm sorry, I should have heard from you first.
That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Katie, if I may, Mr. Chairman, Katie, I'm trying to remember, is this in the TIF or not?
I believe it is in the Kinsey TIF.
It's in the Kinsey TIF. I don't know if it's in the Kinsey TIF.
Let me look.
The River West TIF, is there?
1 second.
So while she's looking, Mr.
Yes, you're
Chairman,
right. River West, Alderman. Sorry.
yes, in the River West TIF. So, Mr. Chairman, so I'm asking that because this development not only would bring 400 affordable units to this community, which hardly have any affordable units, it also has helped the Salvation Army to do more with their programming and sustain what they're doing and expand in other areas, which I hope that I'm a beneficiary of. But it also brings $15 million to the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, which is going to help the South and the West Sides and wherever else that the city decides to spend it at, and is going to put money into the increment of the TIF in this area. It's going to continue to help to enhance the infrastructure in that community. But also, the other exciting part of this is that, we have a development like this that's being built around where the new casino is being proposed, which is exciting, which says to everyone in the city of Chicago that the casino is not going to hurt development, it's actually going to enhance development. I would venture to say that, a lot of folks don't recognize that the casino has other property on their lot that's supposed to be developed also for residential, and this is going to help to enhance that also. So I think this is a win-win for the city. It's a big win for the CTA because they're gonna have a lot more users come to the area. They did meet with the local community organization, the Neighbors of River West. We did have a large community meeting for which I thought that the community would go against this, and no one in the community meeting went against it. Matter of fact, they're excited for the fact that development is still going to happen in spite of what's happening with the proposed casino. So my community is okay with it. I'm okay with it. I asked for this committee to support it. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that this is Jeff Shapak, the guy who bought us Soho House, the one who bought us the Hoxton Hotel, and he's bringing us a lot of other exciting things over in the Fulton Market. And the way that this development is set up to have muses and other things is going to resemble some of the excitement that's happening over there, just extending this walkable, lively community over to this area. So I ask for the committee support. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Any other comments, questions? All right. If not, I need a motion to move due pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum.
So moved by Alderman Cardona.
Alderman Cardona makes the motion to move due pass. Any objections? And I'm sorry, Alderman Cardona, we have two applications. So are you okay with
For both, yeah.
for both? Okay, I just wanted to clear that for the record. So Alderman Cardona makes the motion on both applications, moves due pass. Any objections to that? Hearing none, these items in plural are passed as revised. Okay. All right, congratulations. It's as Alderman Burnett said, this is an exciting new district. Some transit service. Hopefully we can get some of these buildings out of the ground soon.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Congrats, Alderman Burnett. All right. So now we are on the top of page 21. Our last item is document number 20993, 27th Ward. Ordinance was referred on April 27th of 2022. Common address is 330 West Chestnut Street. And the change request from C15 Neighborhood Commercial District to DX5 Downtown Mixed Use District, then to a residential plan development. And we have Katie Janke Dale or Rich Clouder on this item.
Sticking with me for the last one. Again, for the record, Katie Jinky Dale from DLA Piper, and along with Rich Clouder, we represent the applicant for this matter, which is an affiliate of Draper and Kramer. This matter was also considered and recommended for approval at the October 20th, 2022 Plan Commission hearing. And we'd again request the transcript from that hearing to be incorporated into the record today.
Alderman Cardona moves to incorporate the records from the Plan Commission by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum. Any objections? Hearing none, the records are incorporated and we can continue.
Great, thank you. You could advance to the next slide. The site is located at the northeast corner of Chestnut and Orleans along the CTA tracks. As you mentioned, the applicant's seeking a rezoning from the current C15 to the DX5, then to a residential business plan development to allow the construction of a 9-story building with up to 128 dwelling units and a minimum of 11 parking spaces. Similar to the last matter, the applicant will be providing 20% affordable on site. Again, we worked very closely with Alderman Burnett and for this one, NNUP on the project, with NNUP providing a letter of support after a near unanimous vote by its membership. We'd like to thank them and the aldermen for their time and work with us on this. Please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'd respectfully request the committee's favorable recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Alderman Burnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. As Katie said, they did meet with the local community organization, which is the Nino of Unity program. And they also had a community meeting. They're excited about the 25, 26 units of affordable housing. This is a transit-oriented development. The L station is right down the street. So that's why they don't have much parking. So they were okay with that. You know, this is a a piece of land that has had several bites at the apple. I think this is maybe the fourth proposed development. So we're hoping that this one go. Myself and the community have met with 3 other people in the past about this development. So hopefully this will be the last time and this one will go. So we ask for the community support. We ask for the committee support. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman. Questions, comments? Actually, my staff will go unnamed. Was this reviewed by design committee? Like
This one did not go to COD.
Alderman Burnett, is that not only is it true, but you have a lot of these buildings. What constitutes design review and what doesn't?
So I think Katie may be able to answer that better than me. I think the Department of Planning has certain criteria in order for that to happen. As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Chairman, whenever they go to planning, there's design review because it's pretty much, the commissioner who sits on all of these, the commissioner and a lot of the folks that work in planning sits on all of these entities. So I don't know why this didn't go up there. I guess it's not big enough.
All right. I was just curious because it's a relatively new second layer of review and
but that goes without saying that, as you can see, you can look at all of these designs. They all have a touch of Maurice Cox in it, man. Maurice Cox and Maurice and Melvin, some of their, like I can tell you, like the two-tone building, the different levels. I'm starting to get used to some of the things that they like from all of these developments. This has all of what they like in it. So they have a lot of input in these designs, regardless.
All righty.
And I would just add, we weren't asked to go to committee on design, but in my experience, it's kind of a collaboration between, the department will say, we think this one is a good fit, or we'll keep with this one being reviewed by the department. So it wasn't that we were asked and declined. They just didn't select this one for agenda purposes or project specifics. So.
All righty. All right. Any other comments, questions? All right. Can I get a motion to move to pass by the same roll call that was used to determine quorum?
So move.
Vice Chair Raboyes makes the motion. Any objections? Hearing none, this item is passed as revised. And now I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Alderman Burnett makes a motion to adjourn. Any objections to the motion? Hearing none, this meeting is ended, and we'll report this out tomorrow. Okay, thank you.